Hi students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. I'm Aniruddha and today we are discussing the physics paper solutions from your grand test 4. Now this paper, unlike the previous one which was a little too easy, this one is of a moderate difficulty, some questions easy, some slightly more difficult, but we'll cover them all. Let's get started. First up, the photoelectric effect experiments are performed using three different metal plates P, Q and R having work functions phi P, phi Q and phi R. A light beam containing wavelengths 550 nanometer, 450 nanometer and 350 nanometer with equal intensities illuminates each of the plates. The correct IV graph for the experiment is. Now the photoelectric effect equation with regards to the stopping potential or the potential across the plates you need to stop it, the equation would be written as EV is equal to hc by lambda minus phi naught, where lambda was the incident wavelength, phi naught referred to the work function. Now, but just by looking at this, you can tell that the one with the least stopping potential, the one with the least work function is going to have the largest stopping potential, which means P is going to have the largest stopping potential, which means it's going to be the furthest. So the P is going to be the furthest, Q is going to be after that and then on, because the work functions are different for each case. Now, there are two options with this. One is this and the other one is this. How do we differentiate between these two graphs? Now at first glance you would say that because they have said that the intensities are equal, you would have this, because we know the peak current depends on how many photons it can absorb or what is the intensity of the wave. So it should be this, but you are overlooking one fact that you have three different lights over here. And if you use this hc by lambda, this gives you the energy of that light wave. If you do that, you will see that this 550 nanometer is going to give you energy somewhere in the range of, it will be greater than 2 electron volts, right? It would be a little greater than 2 electron volts but less than 2.5. For the 450 nanometer, you would have it like a little greater than 2.5 electron volts. So greater than 2.5 but less than 3. And with regards to this 350 nanometer, you will see that the energy associated with this would be greater than 3 electron volts, right? If you calculate, I'm not going into the exact values, but if you calculate, then you'll get it. Now all of these three lights of equal intensities are being shown on these three metal plates over here. You see that with regards to P has 2 electron volts as its work function. We know it can emit electrons, it can absorb those photons only when its work function is less than the incident energy, right? So P would be able to absorb this wavelength, it will be able to absorb this wavelength, and it will also be able to absorb this wavelength. So let's assume that each of them give 5 photons per second. So then P would be absorbing 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15 photons. But if you look at Q, it has 2.5 electron volts, which means it can absorb this 450 nanometer and the 350 nanometer. But it cannot absorb 550 nanometer because its energy is less than the work function of Q. So again, if you go by 5 photons per light, it would absorb 5 plus 5, only 10. And for the last one, phi R, it will only be able to absorb this 350 nanometer because its energy is greater than the work function of R. So you see it's the different color. So since P can absorb more types of light with each for equal number of photons per light, it will absorb more photons, hence its peak value will be higher. So even though the light, all three lights are of equal intensity, since P absorbs more types of light, it will have higher I, then Q, then R. So your correct option is option 1. This is a question that students will overlook because at first glance this seems like the correct one. So don't rush into it. Observe if some data is given to you. Generally see if that is useful to you or not. Don't overlook it right away. Next up, it says a plane mirror is placed at the bottom of a tank containing a liquid of refractive index mu. P is a small object at a height h above the mirror. Observer O, vertically above P outside the liquid, observes P and its image in the mirror. Apparent distance between these two would be. So we know the apparent distance AD is equal to the real depth divided by the refractive index. Now let's assume this depth over here is x. This depth here is x, which means the apparent depth of this point, let's call that AD1, the apparent depth of this point is going to be the real depth x divided by the refractive index mu. Now, where would the image of this be? The image of this would be, if this is h, then the image is formed exactly the same distance from the mirror. So this would also be h over here. Now, with regards to the water surface, what is the depth of this point? The depth of the point is x plus h plus h, so x plus 2h. So the apparent depth of the image AD2 would be x plus 2h divided by mu, because the depth is x plus h plus h. So that is the real depth, x plus 2h by mu. Now they have said we want to find the apparent distance between these two, which is just subtracting them out. If you subtract this from this, you can see x by mu will cancel out. If you open this up, this will become x by mu plus 2h by mu. X by mu would get cancelled out with this. So you'll just be having 2h by mu. So that is your correct option over here. Let's look at the next question. It says that a uniform circular disc of radius r is rolling without slipping on a rough horizontal surface with a constant acceleration a. Then the radius of curvature of trajectory of the point A of the disc relative to the ground at the given instant shown here. So we want the radius of curvature of this point, of motion of this point A over here. Now let's understand what the velocity of this point is. First velocity is the horizontal velocity that is given by v. And since it's also turning, that point also has a velocity in this direction given by omega r, right? This direction, the velocity is omega r. Omega r is also equal to v because this is pure rolling. There is no slipping over here, which means even in this direction, you have v, right? And your net resultant velocity of this point would be in this direction over here. And that would be given by your v dash would be equal to v square plus v square root over of v square plus v square. So that would be v root 2 over there. And see, with regards to this, since you have the v and v as equal, you know that each of these angles would be 45 degrees, right? Because they are equal. The x and y components are equal. Now to find the radius, we need to use this velocity and apply this in the relationship for our centripetal acceleration, right? Now before that, let's see what are the accelerations over here. And the accelerations we would be taking would be in this direction, right? We would be taking the accelerations, let's use a different thing. We'll use the accelerations in this direction, which means 90 degree with the resultant value of velocity. Because if you remember, centripetal acceleration always has to be perpendicular to the velocity. Now with regards to this, what are the different accelerations that are happening? First up, you have the acceleration, the linear acceleration. So this itself is moving at an acceleration a. So in this direction itself, you have the acceleration a, right? In the downward direction, you have the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration would be, the angular acceleration is alpha. So the acceleration that comes about because of that would be alpha into the radius over here. The radius is given as r. So the acceleration that comes about because of the angular motion, alpha r on this side. And you also know that because it's also moving in the circular path, there would be the omega square r in the other direction. Would be the omega square r in that direction over there, because it is being made to turn. Now we will only be dealing with the components of these three accelerations. Let's again use a different color to visualize things. We'll only use the components of these accelerations along this line. Along this line here. Why? Because we need the acceleration perpendicular to the velocity. Now first up, this a will have a component of a cos 45, right? This alpha r will have a component in this direction of alpha r cos of 45 again, because you can see everything is 45 degree over here. So if you turn this here, it would be 45 degree. So alpha r cos of 45, and you also have, because of this omega r, another one in the same direction. So I'll keep it here, plus omega r cos of 45 degree. I might have chosen the wrong color combination here, but anyway, you get an idea that you have two accelerations in this direction. 1 in the other direction. So the net acceleration in that direction is given by, the net acceleration would be given by omega square r cos 45 degree plus alpha r cos 45 degree minus a cos 45 degree, right? This is the net acceleration. Well, I'll put that down, but this is the net acceleration in this direction. You see over here alpha r is equal to a, which means this is also a cos 45, they will cancel out. So your net acceleration, let's do it here, your net acceleration a becomes equal to your omega square r cos 45 degree. So that is omega square r by root 2. Now we know that this acceleration is going to be equal to v dash square by r, where r would be the exact radius that we need, the radius of curvature of the trajectory. This would be your small r. So we can write this as being equal to, or you can even do this here as v dash square divided by small r, and this small r is what we need to find, right? Now over here omega square r can be written as, so let's take it up here, it's a bit of a longer question, let's take it up here. So our r is equal to v dash square, v dash is just v root 2 whole square divided by omega square r. Omega square r, when it comes down, you can represent it as omega r whole square multiplied with r up top. Okay, we've represented omega square r as omega square r square divided by r. So that is in here, and I'm assuming there's also the root 2 up top. There's also the root 2 over here. So here omega r is equal to v, which means they are going to cancel out, and you have root 2 square, that is 2, and another root 2 here. So your small r becomes equal to r into 2 root 2. So your correct option is option 2 here. I know there's a lot of step and probably I made a jumble over here, but I hope you get an idea about every time. You'll see we'll use a similar principle later on as well, that if we ask you for the radius of curvature of a point, figure out the velocity of the point, figure out the acceleration of the point, then equate that centripetal force along with that. This, let's keep this an for now, not a, because a I have used somewhere else. So that is the procedure to go about this. Let's move on. It says that a resistance of a frustum shape is shown in the figure. If a current I passes through the resistance, electric field at A and B are related as, this comes from straightforward relation of Ohm's law. By Ohm's law, we know that the electric field is proportional to the current density J, right? Not the V equal to IR. This is also Ohm's law. So from here, the current density is just that E is proportional to the current divided by the cross-sectional area. Now the current is constant throughout, so E is inversely proportional to the area. What does that tell you? Over here it's narrower, over here it is wider, so over here area is less, so the electric field will be higher over here. So your correct option is that EA is greater than EB. Next up, says that there's a thin plate ABCD with an elliptical hole as shown in the figure. The coefficient of linear expansion of the sheet is alpha. When the temperature of the plate is increased by T Kelvin, the area of the hole increases by an amount. So we have been given the linear expansion, but what we are dealing with here is the areal expansion. So we know what the relation between linear and areal expansion is. The coefficient of the areal expansion, beta, would be equal to 2 alpha. From here on, we can get a relation for the change or the change in area. We know the change in area, delta A, is equal to the original area into beta into the change in temperature. The change in temperature here is T kelvins. So T, this is going to be our relation. Now the area we are dealing with is this area of the hole, which is just the ellipse. The formula for the area of an ellipse is pi into L into pi into L into B, because pi into semi-major axis into semi-minor axis. So my delta A becomes equal to pi into L into B. Beta is my 2 alpha and here we have the t. So that is my change in area, that is the increases by an amount. Only delta A, not the new area. They want the delta A, the change in area. So that is going by here, option 2. Okay, let's move on. Next says, when an ultrasonic waves travel from air into water, waves bend towards the normal. This is not going to happen because we know the speed of this ultrasonic wave in air is less than in water. So when it goes from a lower speed to a higher speed, it bends away from normal. Even light behaves the same way. So this is incorrect. Waves actually bend away from normal. Next statement says that the frequency of waves change from air to water. That does not happen. Frequency does not change when changing mediums. The wavelength changes. And because of the change in wavelength, there is a change in speed. So frequency remains the same. This is also incorrect. Third, the speed of ultrasonic wave is greater in water than in air. This is correct. Ultrasonic waves have higher speed in water than air. You know, even with respect to sound travels faster in water than in air. The next one, speed of ultrasonic wave is less in water than in air. Again, it's just the converse of this. So this is also incorrect. Next, two sound waves, same intensity in a particular medium, will have displacement amplitude in the ratio of 2:1 if they have frequency in the ratio of 1:2. So we know that the intensity relation for a sound wave is 2 pi square f square a square rho into v, where f is the frequency, a refers to the amplitude, rho is the density of the medium, and v refers to the speed of the wave. Now they have said over here that firstly, in the particular medium, if the amplitude is a ratio of 2:1, frequency is in the ratio of 1:2. That has to happen because if amplitude is multiplied 2 times, then frequency also has to be divided by 2 in order to maintain the balance, for them to have the same intensity. So assertion is correct. Next says, two waves of same velocity and velocity amplitude in a particular medium have equal intensity. Now velocity amplitude, we know V naught was equal to a omega, which is just 2 pi a into f. Omega is 2 pi f. So that tells you that AF is constant. If the velocity amplitude is the same, which means AF is the same. So this part becomes same for both the waves, f square a square. They have also said that it's in the same medium. Same medium means the density is the same and the velocity of the wave is also same. So rho and v are also same. So these are same, these are also same. So the intensity of the two waves will be same. Assertion is correct, reason is also correct, and the reason is in fact the correct reason for the first statement. Because we have established, once you have established this based on what they have said, you can define this formula, and based on the formula you can explain this. So correct option here is option 1. Next up, it says that a particle is vibrating in SHM. Its velocities are v1 and v2 when displacement from mean positions are y1 and y2 respectively. Then its time period is, we know the relation for the velocity at any displacement from the mean position. It's given by v is equal to omega into root over of a square minus x square, right? This where omega is the angular frequency, a refers to the amplitude of the oscillation, x is the displacement from the mean position. So over here, with regards to this, we would have our two equations as, okay, omega can also be written as 2 pi by t, right? Because we need it with respect to the time period, we need the time period here. So our first equation would become v1 is equal to 2 pi by t root over of a square. We don't know a yet, but don't panic. We have two equations and two variables. We can calculate a square minus y1 square, and the other equation which we will have would be v, my bad, would be v over here. v2 is equal to same 2 pi by t, because the time period remains the same. You have a square minus y2 square. So from here on, your purpose, you have two equations, two variables, amplitude and the time period. You need to find the time period, either replace, eliminate stuff, as in get a from here, put the value of a in here. Any way you can proceed, or dividing the time period goes, you get a first, then put a. Whatever you do, you can use any method to calculate, and you would arrive at option 4 here. Okay, be careful, it's y1 minus y2, and here it is v2 minus v1. So take note, you might have a different relation over here. No, you don't have a relation over here, but anyway, you might also have an option that says y1 minus y2 and here v1 minus v2. So the sign is important. Okay, take note of that. Next says that regarding transistor, what is not correct? For a transistor to act as an amplifier, in the EB junction should be forward biased, CB junction should be reverse biased. So this statement is correct. We know this for a fact that as an amplifier we need the emitter base junction to be forward biased and the collector base to be reverse biased. IE is equal to IB plus IC in any configuration for any transistor. Again, true. Comes from the Kirchhoff's first law itself. Next, alpha is equal to beta by 1 plus beta. Again, this statement is also true, but this statement is incorrect. So this is actually a correct option because they've asked for what is not correct. Okay, because we know beta is equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha. That is the correct statement. That is the correct formula. So this is the incorrect statement. Take note. We have to mark what is not correct. Next question, number of amplitude modulation broadcast stations that can be accumulated in 100 kilohertz bandwidth if the highest frequency modulating a carrier is 5 kilohertz. We know if the highest modulating frequency FM is 5 kilohertz, then the bandwidth for each of the wave would be 2 times of this, so 10 kilohertz. So each wave takes up 10 kilohertz. So in a 100 kilohertz total bandwidth, you can take a maximum of 100 divided by 10, that is 10 waves. Okay, next up. Light of red color travels faster than light of violet color in vacuum. This is an incorrect statement because they have said that it is in vacuum. In vacuum, every electromagnetic wave has 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second as its speed. Only if you go to a different medium will it change. So the first statement is in fact incorrect. Next, refractive index of a medium in general depends on the wavelength and its value reduces with the increase of wavelength. This is correct because for water or anything, even glass, you know that if it is higher wavelength means red light deviates the least. Since it deviates the least, we know that the refractive index is going to decrease. Right? So increasing wavelength reduces the refractive index. So reason is correct, assertion is wrong. Our correct option is option 4 here. Next, it says that the plane of the dip circle is set in the geographical meridian and an apparent dip is theta 1. It is then set up in a vertical plane perpendicular to the geographical meridian. Apparent dip becomes theta by 2. Angle of declination alpha at that place. So we need to find alpha and they have given you the angle of dip, the apparent angle of dip at that point. So we know the relation. The relation is tan theta 1 would be equal to tan theta divided by cos alpha, where theta 1 is the apparent dip, theta would be the actual dip at that point if you were aligned along magnetic meridian, and alpha is the angle between the magnetic meridian and your and that point. At that point, whatever the angle of declination is, this alpha is what we need to find. Now this is the first case. In the second case, they have said that now I set it in a plane perpendicular to the original one. Right? Perpendicular to the original one means in this case you have the new apparent angle of dip tan theta 2. This remains as is, but now with respect to the fact that you have turned it through 90 degree, it means that you go from cos alpha to cos 90 plus alpha. Right? You go from cos alpha to cos 90 plus alpha. We'll ignore any negative signs over here. So that would give you tan theta 2 is equal to tan theta divided by sin alpha over here. Right? Again, we are ignoring any negative signs because that doesn't matter here. So we need to find this tan alpha, which means if this is our equation 1 and this would be our equation 2, we divide this equation by this equation. That cancels out the tan thetas. You get the sin alpha up top and cos alpha below. So tan alpha becomes equal to tan theta 1 by tan theta 2. So our correct option is option 3 over here. From this relation, you can get it. Next, it says in an experiment, the reliable digits plus the first uncertain digit are known as significant digits or significant figures. This is a correct statement. We know that is the definition of significant figures. Next, a choice of change of different units does not change the number of significant digits or figures in a measurement. This again is true, but this is not the explanation of this. Both statements are true, but this is not the explanation of this. So our correct option is option 2 here. Assertion is true, but reason is not the correct explanation. This one says that for given CE biasing, voltage across collector emitter is 12 volts, current gain is 100, base current is 0.04 milliampere, then the value of collected resistance RC is. Now we have been given the value of beta is 100, which tells us that this 100 is equal to collector current by base current. Now base current is given as 0.04 milliamperes, which cross multiplied here gives you the collector current as 4 milliamperes, right? So we have the collector current. We need to find what is this RC. Now see, we know that the potential difference across this entire part is 20 volts. That is 20 volts. And we have been given the collector emitter voltage, that is 12 volts, which means this part between this to this is 12 volts. Which means between this point and this point, the potential difference is 20 volts minus 12 volts. So the potential difference between this point and this point would be 20 minus 12, that is 8 volts. So we have the collector current. We know the current flowing through this is the IC that we just got. So we have got the collector current. We have the voltage across it. We need to find the resistance. So R is just V by this. So V would be 8 volts divided by the collector current, which we got as 4 milliamperes. So this is 2, but this is milliamperes, so 10 to the power minus 3 goes up. So this becomes 2 into 10 to the power 3 ohms. That is 2000 ohms over here, right? Okay, let's move on. Says that in a Young's double slit experiment, green light is incident on the two slits. The interference pattern is observed on a screen. Which of the following changes would cause the observed fringes to be more closely spaced? We know the relation for the fringe width is given by beta is equal to lambda capital D by small d. This is the formula for the fringe width. Lambda is the wavelength of light used, capital D is the distance between the slit and the screen, and small d refers to the distance between the slits. So the first option says that reducing the separation between the slits, we want beta value to go down because we want the fringes to be more closely spaced. The fringe width has to reduce. So if we try to reduce the separation between the slits, which means reduce small d, then you are reducing the denominator. If you reduce denominator, the number itself goes up. So this statement cannot be true because reducing d would increase beta. Using blue light instead of green light. Blue light has a lower wavelength than green light by Vibgyor. Red has the highest, violet has the least. So blue is before green. So blue has a lower wavelength than green. Now over here you see the beta is directly proportional to the wavelength, which means if you reduce wavelength, beta is also going to go down. So this is our correct statement over here. Next says that using red light will again not do the purpose because red will have a higher wavelength, lambda will go up, beta will also go up. Next is moving the light source further from the slits, which means moving the light source further from the slits, if you do that, then your capital D value goes up. Or okay, it's a light source further from the slit, so that is not going to do anything. This is the light source, you're moving it back, doesn't do anything because firstly there are parallel waves coming in, so nothing itself is going to change, and in the formula you see nothing is going to change anyway. So correct statement option 2. Next, absolute error may be positive or negative. This is an incorrect statement because absolute error, if you recall, is the magnitude, which means that's why it's called the absolute error. It's the absolute value. You don't deal it with positive, negative. It is always positive. You always take the magnitude of it. Next, it says that absolute error is the magnitude difference between real value and measured value of a physical quantity. This statement is correct. It's like it says, it is the magnitude difference between real value and measured value. So assertion is wrong, reason is correct. So correct option is option 4 here. Next question. A solid piece of lead has a mass of 23.94 gram and a volume of 2.1 centimeter cube. From these data, calculate the density of lead in SI units. Now it's just basic, we know density is mass divided by volume. Just do it in the right units because the mass is given as 23.94 grams. When you convert grams to kgs, you divide this by 1000 and divided by 1 by volume, so divided by volume, so the volume is given as 2.1 centimeter cube. So centimeter cube, to take it to meter cube, you have to divide by 10 to the power you have to divide by 10 to the power 6. So 10 to the power 6 goes up because 2.1 is down here. So 1000 by 10 to the power 6, cancel them out, you get a 10 to the power 3 out here. 2.1 going to 23.94, you can tell 2.1 multiplied with 10 will take you to 21, right? If you add another 2.1 to that, if you make it 11 times of that, then you will get 23.1 in that case. So that is very close to it. So you know it will go somewhere around 11. Why is that important? Because the options are like that. We can assume it to be 11 into 10 to the power 3. So there's only one option matching it, and that is 1.14 over here. That is our correct option. This is how you speed up. Don't try to sit and divide over there. Speed things up, because the options only other competitor would be could be 1.28. But yes, you can. That is why I said you try with 11. You see it's going almost there. The little extra part, it was going 23.1. So that extra 0.84 part, that can be taken care of by this 4 over here. Next one, it says that a conducting rod AB moves parallel to the x-axis in the xy plane. Uniform magnetic field points normally out of the plane, exists throughout the region. Force F acts perpendicular to the rod, so that rod moves with the uniform velocity v. The force F is given by. Right. So first up, we can find what the EMF through this is. EMF across the ends. The EMF formula for motional EMF, constant magnetic field, same length, constant velocity. The EMF is given by E is equal to BLV. Right. Now this EMF brings about a current in here, and the maximum value of current, that now there's a capacitor, but if we ignore the capacitor, we can get what the maximum value of current can be, and the maximum value of current I naught would be equal to the EMF divided by the resistance, which is BLV divided by the resistance R over here. That is the maximum current that can flow. Now because there is a capacitor here, we know that the capacitor over time is going to decay that growth of current, right? It's going to slow down that growth of current, and our relation would be I is equal to I naught e to the power minus t by RC. RC is the time constant for the RC circuit over here. So we have I naught, and we have got this I over here. Now what is the force on this? Now that current I is flowing through here, right? That current I is going to flow through this wire, and because of that, this wire is going to experience a force, the Lorentz force over there on a straight conductor, straight current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. And that force is the force that we need, that F is equal to ILB. Right? If you put the value of I and the value of I naught from there in, I naught value BLV by R, if you put along with this, you will get this is equal to BLV by R into L into B from here, multiplied with this e to the power minus t by RC, because that came with I itself. So e to the power minus t by RC. So your B square, B and L will become squared, V stays as it is. So your correct option is option 1 here. Okay, let's move on. This one says that in photoelectric effect, number of photoelectrons emitted is always equal to number of photons incident. This is an incorrect statement, because if the energy of the photons incident is less than the work function, then no photoelectrons will be emitted. So assertion is wrong. Reason says that the photons falling on the surface will eject photoelectrons is not necessary. This is correct. This is actually the statement that disproves this theory. So reason is correct, assertion is wrong. Our correct option is option 4. Next, it says that we have to consider the following statements. First, Young's modulus is numerically equal to the stress, which will double the length of the wire. Now we know the Young's modulus Y is equal to the stress sigma divided by the strain. The strain was the change in length divided by the original length. Now they have said that this stress doubles the length of the wire, which means if the original length is L, the change in length is also L, because if the same length is again increased, then it will become double, right? So you have L by L over here, This delta L also becomes L. So L by L becomes 1. So you have Y is equal to sigma. So your first statement is correct. Second statement, surface tension of a liquid decreases due to the presence of insoluble contamination. We know this for a fact. So even second statement is correct. Third one says that viscosity of gases is greater than that of liquids. This is an incorrect statement because gases have much lower viscosity. You know it's easier to move through air than to move through water. So the third statement is incorrect. We have two correct statements, or correct option is this. The third option here, which says that the number of correct statements true are 2. Now we'll move ahead to the numerical answer questions over here. The first one says that a particle is projected horizontally from the top of a tower with a velocity v0. If v be its velocity at any instant, then the radius of curvature of the path of the particle at the point where the particle is at that instant is directly proportional to v to the power n. We need to find the value of n. So what is happening over here? We release it with the velocity v0, right? It's release it with the velocity v0. It travels, and let's assume this is the point we are dealing with, right? And here again, they've asked us to find the radius of curvature of the path at that point. So we'll use the same logic which we used in that question over there, right? We'll compare with regards to the centripetal acceleration. So over here, it has a velocity, let's assume v in this direction. Of that velocity, the horizontal component is still going to remain v0. That does not change, because if you recall, in horizontal projection, horizontal component of velocity never changes. So we can find what this angle over here is. Let's call this theta, because your v0 is equal to v cos theta. So your cos theta is equal to v0 by v. Now besides that, over here, what is the acceleration acting on it? The acceleration acting on it is g. But we don't want acceleration in that direction. We want the acceleration in the direction that is perpendicular to the velocity at that point. So if this angle is theta, this is 90 minus theta, this again is going to be theta, right? So the acceleration we are dealing with is going to be g cos theta, right? And that has to be equal to v square divided by r, where r is the radius which we need over here. So from here on out, we can get r is equal to v square divided by g cos theta. Now cos theta we have found is v0 by v. We can put that in here, and that will give us v cube divided by g v0, right? So it said that radius, the radius of curvature of the path of the particle is directly proportional to v to the power n. So we have got that r is proportional to v cube right from here. So our n value is going to be equal to 3. Okay. Next question. Figure shows two capacitors C1, C2 connected with 10 volt battery, and terminal A and B are earthed. The graph shows the variation of potential as one moves from left to right. Ratio of C1 by C2 is n by 3. Now over here, C1 and C2 are in series. If they are in series, that means the charge is going to be the same. Q1 is equal to Q2, which means your C1 V1 is going to be equal to C2 V2, because this is Q1, that is Q2. C1 V1 equal to C2 V2. We want C1 by C2. So C1 by C2 becomes equal to V2 by V1. V2 refers to the potential drop across C2, and V1 refers to the potential drop across C1. Across C2, if you see, the potential drops this much, that is 4 volts, right? So my V2 is equal to 4, and my V1 is the potential drop from this 10 volt all the way down to this 4 volt over here. So the potential drop, this V1, is equal to 10 minus 4, that is 6 volts. So that is 6 over here. That becomes 2 by 3. We have been said that the C1 by C2 is n by 3, so n value is going to be 2 from that relation over there. Okay. Next, suppose the potential energy between the electron and proton at a distance r is given by minus k square by 3r cube. The application of Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom in this case shows that energy in the nth orbit is proportional to n to the power x. Now don't jump and be like that the energy is proportional to 1 by n square. because here they have changed the potential relation. In the original potential relation, it was inversely proportional to just R. Here it's inversely proportional to R cube, and that is going to change a few things. So look at what's going to happen. First up, this is the potential energy given, which means we can find the force. We can find the force as F is equal to minus dV dr. Right? So we differentiate this. If you differentiate that, you would get minus minus cancel out, so you'll get ke square divided by 3. That comes out as it is because it's a constant over there, and you have r to the power minus 3. R to the power minus 3 gives you minus 3 into r to the power minus 4, right, because n into x to the power n minus 1. So that is going to give you minus ke square divided by r to the power 4. Now we have got the force, we have got the electrostatic force over there. Now we know that this force is the force that is giving the centripetal acceleration, right? This force gives the centripetal acceleration, which means that our centripetal acceleration part, it comes about is mv square by r has to be equal to this force, right? I can ignore the negative sign because it just denotes that it's in the opposite direction. So it's ke square divided by r to the power 4. Now over here we don't need to do too much, but it's said that the Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom applies here. What is the Bohr's theory? We know that the angular momentum mvr is equal to nh cut, where h cut is just h by 2 pi, okay, which means my v value is going to be nh cut divided by mr. If you put that in here, then you will get m into n square h cut square divided by m square into r square into r, that is equal to your ke square by r to the power 4. Now from here on out you can cancel out few terms, but that is not what we are looking for. We only need the relation of the radius on n, on the nth orbit. Why? Because the energy is already given to us. The relation for energy is already given to us. What we need is how that energy depends on the nth orbit. And over here the only thing that can depend on the nth orbit is r. So we need the relation between r and n. And if you look from here, r cube and r cancel out this, so that you're only left with one r over there. And all the other things are constants. We don't deal with that. We only see that this r is inversely proportional to n square. R is inversely proportional to n square. And see, this changes things because normally r is proportional to n square. Here it is inversely proportional to n square. Okay, so if r is inversely proportional to n square and your energy, let's create another part here. Your energy, I'm representing with E itself, right? Or okay, let's represent with E, doesn't matter. Energy, as it says here, is inversely proportional to r cube, and r cube is inversely proportional to n square, which means that energy is proportional to 1 by n square whole cube. So that means that energy is proportional to n to the power 6. So your answer for x here would be 6. I know this might look like a lot of steps, but if you look closely, this is exactly what you do in your derivation for your relation for R, E or V. That's exactly what you do. Just the original part where the F we used was the Coulomb's law F, only that has changed. Everything else, the entire procedure is same after that. Okay, so there's nothing to panic, it's just you have to notice that this has become R cube. So don't jump into conclusions right away. X is equal to 6. Next, solid sphere of mass m, radius capital R, lying on a rough horizontal plane. Constant force 4 mg acts vertically at a point P such that OP makes an angle 60 degree. Minimum coefficient of friction is n into 10 to the power minus 2, so that sphere starts pure rolling. So over here, what are the forces? You have the P acting straight down, right? This is the line of action of that P. You have the mg acting in this direction, and you have the frictional force acting in this direction over here. So first up, what are the torques over here? The torques over here, this mg does not give a torque because it's about that central axial point, but this 4 mg is going to give a torque. If this line over here is r, then this perpendicular distance of the force from the central axis is r cos theta or r cos 60, right? So my net torque is going to be 4 mg multiplied with the perpendicular distance from the axis, that is r cos 60 into r into cos 60. Cos 60 is half, right? This is the torque because of 4 mg, and you also have the torque because of this frictional force, and that is to be subtracted because as you can see, this 4 mg tries to turn in this direction, the torque tries to turn in the other direction. So the torques are subtracted, minus f into the perpendicular distance of that from this, just the radius r, so fr, and that is equal to the moment of inertia into alpha. Tau is equal to I alpha. The tau we know is equal to the I we know, the moment of inertia of a sphere. It is said that it's a solid sphere, so it's 2 by 5 mr square into alpha, right? From here we can cancel out a few things. We can take this out. We can cancel out 1 r from each side. So our equation now becomes, we need to find for f, so let's take f on the other side. It becomes 2 mg minus 2 by 5 mr alpha is equal to f, right? This we have done it with respect to the torque. Now there's also the linear motion in that direction, right? There's also the linear motion in that direction, and that motion can only be brought about by this force, because every other force, mg, 4 mg, everyone acts straight down. It's only f that acts in that direction, right? Which means your f should be equal to your m into a, mass into acceleration. We can represent it in terms of angular acceleration as m into r into alpha, right? The frictional force is m into r into alpha over there. From here on out, we also know that my frictional force, we know that frictional force mu has to be equal to mu into 5 mg. Sorry, my bad. F has to be equal to mu into 5 mg. Why? Because the net downward force is this mg plus the 4 mg. So the normal reaction force up top is going to be mg plus 4 mg, 5 mg. So my mu value, let's take alpha from here rather. Alpha is equal to f by mr, f by m into r. This alpha value we can put in here. So we have 2 mg minus 2 by 5. See, our purpose was to get two equations. We have two unknown variables. We have alpha and f. Our purpose is to get f, because from f only we can get the coefficient of friction. So 2 by 5 mr into alpha, alpha is f by mr, that is equal to f over here. So this mr and mr cancel out. You have 2 mg minus 2 by 5 f, which makes it as 2 mg is equal to 2 by 5 f, when it goes there becomes 7 by 5 f, 7 by 5 f, and this f we can write as mu into n, right? And normal reaction we just found is 5 mg, 4 mg plus mg, right? So it's going to be mu into 5 mg. So from here on, can cancel out the mg's on both sides, cancel out the 5 up and top. You have your mu value, I'm writing this here, your mu value would be equal to 2 by 7, that is roughly equal to 0.28, equal to 0.28. So n value is going to be 28. That is going to be the correct option. Okay, so we got the mu value over here. Let's move ahead to our next question. It says, consider the following reaction, 1H1 plus 13C6 plus 30N7 plus 1 neutron is coming out. So in this, the atomic masses are provided to us all the different values. We want the minimum kinetic energy of the proton required to initiate the reaction in mega electron volts. So why is this energy required? Because the mass of this, if you calculate, you'll get the mass of this is greater than the mass of this. So that additional mass has to be coming from some sort of energy, right, by the mass energy equivalence, and that energy is the kinetic energy that you need to externally supply to add up that mass, right? So the energy is just going to be the kinetic energy, just refers to the mass difference between them, which is just mass of this n plus mass of this neutron, right? This is on the product side. Subtract this from the original masses, because that is going to then give you how much mass has increased. Mass of this one, this proton, plus mass of this carbon atom, right? This is the mass change, right? Mass change, and then we need to convert to energy. The way to convert to energy is to sit with c square, right? We don't need to worry about that c square, because we will get this in atomic mass units, right? We'll get some atomic mass unit. I'm not going into the calculation here. If you put in the values, all the values are given to you. Put in the values, you'll get some kind of atomic mass unit from here. So atomic mass unit, 1 atomic mass unit into c square gives you 931 mega electron volts, right? So once you have this quantity, don't worry about c square, get this quantity, multiply with 931 mega electron volts, and you will get the answer. The answer, I have it written here. I'm not going to the calculation. You'll get it as 2.99 mega electron volts, right? 9 mega electron volts. Okay, so round it off, you'll get it to 3. I'm not going, this is just basic calculation beyond this. Again, be careful, don't worry about c square, because 1 AMU into c square is already multiplied and given to you as your energy. If you do this again, you'll be repeating it, you'll get an incorrect result. Next, two blocks of masses 3 kg, 6 kg are placed on a smooth horizontal surface. They are connected by a light spring. K is given to us. Initially, the spring is unstretched. The indicated velocities are imparted to the blocks. Maximum extension of the spring in centimeter is going to be. So over here, this entire thing is moving, and initially they have different velocities. But at the moment when, so you can assume both of them have different velocities, but there will be a velocity of the center of mass, right? They'll have a velocity of the center of mass, because they have different velocities, different masses. So they themselves, they might be moving, but they themselves will be shifting in a certain direction. At the moment when the spring is stretched the maximum, at that point both of them will have the same speed, and that will be the speed of the center of mass. How do we know that? Because at that point, with regards to just their oscillation, both of them have stopped. Extreme position means they have stopped and are about to come back. So if their own motions have stopped, then the only motion they would be having is because of the motion of the center of mass, right? So they are going like this, but at the moment where they have stopped, the center of mass has to still continue to move in that speed, which means both of them are moving in the same direction with the same speed. So that is what we'll do first, to find what the speed is, because the speed would be just you can even find it at respect to the center of speed of the center of mass, and that would be the speed of the center of mass. We know VCM is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 divided by m1 plus m2. So m1, let's keep that direction as positive. So 6 into 2 plus 3 into minus 1, because it's in the other direction. 3 into minus 1 divided by the total masses is 3 plus 6, that is 9. So 6 into 2 gives you 12, minus 3 gives you 9, 9 by 9. So your VCM is your 1 meters per second. Yeah, VCM is 1 meter per second. Now your energies should also be equal, which means that this is now the speed at the maximum extension. This is also the speed of each one individually. So we know at that maximum extension, your net, or even if you regard this with respect to the center of mass, your net kinetic energy is going to be half into the sum of the masses 3 plus 6, that is 9, into the velocity VCM square. VCM square, let's keep it as let's keep this as just 1 square. Directly I'll put in the relation 1 square, plus there's also another energy trapped in there, and that is the potential energy of the spring, that is given by half kx square. So half into k value is given 200 into x square. That x square is what we need to find. This is the energy, right? And this has to be equal to the initial kinetic energy of the system. So initially the spring was unstretched, but both of them had their own kinetic energies. So that would be equal to half into 3 into 1 square plus half into 6 into 2 square. First, before you calculate, cancel out all the halves, right? Then you have 9, you have 200x square. So let's write this. You have 200x square is equal to 3 plus 4 into 6 is going to give you 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. 27 minus 9 gives you 18. Right? 18. So this becomes 100. This becomes 9. So your x becomes equal to 9 by 100, that is when you take a root over of 9 by 100, that is going to give you 3 by 10, 3 by 10, that is 0.3 meters. They have asked for it in centimeters, so the answer would be 30. 0.3 meters is 30 centimeters. So that is how you figure it out. Next one, it says that the critical angle for a prism and its surrounding interface is 36 degree. The minimum angle of prism for which no emergent ray is possible is. So first up in the prism, first up let's assume this is the prism, and over here you have this coming in, you have this and so on. Now if it is said that the minimum angle for which there is no emergent ray, that means over here this angle, your R2, this is your R2, remember this is your angle of incidence I, this is your R1, this would be your angle of emergence E, and this is your angle of prism A. So right up there we know that R2 has to be greater than IC, right? R2 has to be greater than IC. Now besides that, so this R2 we know, and we also know that A is equal to R1 plus R2, that is the angle of prism is equal to the sum of these two angles over there. So R2 is equal to A minus R1. Now we want this R2 to be the minimum value possible, right? In order for R2 to be the minimum value, we want R1 to have the maximum value. Now when can R1 have the maximum value? R1 can have the maximum value only when your angle of incidence is maximum, right? And the angle of incidence is maximum when I is 90 degree, right? The angle of incidence is 9, that is the maximum value of incidence it can have. So if I is 90 degree, then you can just retrace it and understand that R1 also has to be equal to IC. That is the only case, right? R1 has to be equal to IC, because see, just like if you have a surface here and this is your IC, right? Then you know it goes in that direction. Angle of refraction is 90 degree. Just retrace it. If this was your angle of incidence, it would have gone in this direction. So if your angle of incidence becomes 90 degree, your angle of refraction becomes IC. So R1 has to be equal to IC over there, right? So just by that logic, if you put it in there, you will eventually get that R1 also has to be equal to IC, So just by that logic, we will get that A has to be, we want the minimum possible angle, so A has to be greater than R1 plus R2, that is just 2IC. A is equal to R1 plus R2 because R2 has to be greater than IC. R1, the maximum possible value is IC, so that is why you have A has to be greater than 2 IC. So the IC value is given as 36 degree. So your angle of prism here would be 72 degrees. Okay, fine. This says that shows the circuit of a potentiometer. Length of the potentiometer wire AB is 50 centimeter. EMF of the battery E1 is 4 volts. So this is 4 volts right here. And values of resistance R1 and R2 15 ohm, R1, R2 15 ohm, 5 ohm. When both keys are open, null point is obtained at a distance of 31.25 centimeter from the end A. Right, so both keys open. So according to this diagram, this is 31.25. What does that tell us? Firstly, let's understand what is going on, what is the current flowing through this is, right? The current flow, forget the bottom part for now, only look at the top part. Up at the top part, we know the current flowing through this is the cell, is the original voltage E1 divided by what is the total resistance? The total resistance is this R1 plus the resistance of this entire wire AB. So let's call that RAB. That is the current flowing through this, right? And you also know that this current multiplied with the resistance of just this piece, only that length 31.25, this current multiplied with that resistance gives you the potential difference across these 2 points. And the potential difference across these 2 points is equal to the EMF of cell E2. Why? Because that is when it will give that null point. Now the current we have, we need to find the resistance about these 2 points and multiply to that. What is the resistance about those 2 points? It would be 31.25 divided by the total length 50 centimeter, it's given to you, multiplied with RAB. And that itself is your E2, because mind you, this R1, R2 is open over here. So this part of the circuit you can forget. Only over here, this E2 has to be equal to the potential difference across these 2 points. That is exactly what we have done here. So R1 value is given to us, E1 value is, E1 is given, R1 is given as 15 ohm, and RAB value I'm assuming is also given, RAB is also given as 10 ohms to us. So you can put in the values, you can calculate for E2, and your E2 value will come out to be 1 volt. Right, just putting in and calculating beyond that. So you see, this is just this 5 ohm is just there to confuse you. You don't even need it. The other balance length is not even needed for you. You can just do it with the first case itself. Okay. Next up, it says that a ball of mass m is placed on top of a super ball of mass capital M, and the 2 balls are dropped to the floor from a height h. The height rise of the small ball after collision is nh. Then n is, as we have to assume. So here both of the balls are coming down, and where is the collision between the balls? The collision between the balls will occur at the moment just after the lower ball has hit the floor. Why? Because originally both are moving down with the same speed, right? But as soon as the first ball hits the bottom surface, its direction has changed, but the upper ball's direction has not yet changed. That is the moment of collision. And that moment, what are the speeds? The speed of the first ball, let's call this ball 1 and this is ball 2. So the speed of the first ball, V1, is equal to root 2 GH. If it has fallen through a height h, its velocity is root 2 GH, right? Let's, instead of V1, let's call this U1, because these are the initial velocities. Let's call this U1, right? It is root 2 GH, and just to note, it is in the downward direction. Ball 1 is still moving down, but ball 2 has just hit and got reflected. So ball 2 will also have the same speed, but it will be in the upward direction. Why? Because with root 2 GH, it just hit the surface, and since it's perfectly reflected back, it will be reflected back with the exact same speed. So it's just its direction will be changed. And they have same speed, because we know that the speed of any object falling through a height is always going to be the same, because the acceleration due to gravity is the same. So we have U1 and U2, and we want what the velocity of this M1 is going to be while going up. So M1, so the V1, we know this, since it's an elastic collision, we know direct relation to go from the original velocities to the final velocities. It is M1 minus M2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2, right? Now over here, this this m1, I should have written it in a slightly different way. Okay, let's write this with regards to exactly what is given here. That will simplify things a lot for us, because we have been given it in terms of small m and capital M, so it's better, we'll be using up a lot of space if we write it this way. So we will be having V1 is equal to small m minus capital M divided by small m plus capital M U1 plus, we don't need this, there's no bracket necessary here, we can just work with 2 capital M into U2 divided by small m plus capital M, right? Now with regards to this, they have said that we assume that small m is much less than capital M, which means this part is going to be just minus m and this part is just going to be plus m. So you essentially have your V1 is equal to minus U1 plus your, over here, again lower part is just capital M, because capital M plus small m is going to give you capital M if capital M is much greater than small m. So this becomes plus 2U2, right? Now you want it moving in the upward direction, which means this U1 is actually negative. We've represented it with arrows, but if we consider the upward direction as positive, then this should be negative, which means your V1 becomes equal to root 2 GH minus into minus plus you have 2 root 2 GH. So that gives you your V is equal to, let's work here, we have V is equal to 3 root 2 GH, right? Now we want what is the height that the ball goes up to, and over here again it's pretty straightforward. We know that the height, even if we equate with energies, we know half into mv square would be equal to mg into h dash. H dash is the height it will go up to. So cancel out the masses here, put in this v square, that gives you half into 9 into 2gh is equal to gh dash. Cancel out the 2's, cancel out the g's, and your h dash becomes equal to 9h. So this n value is equal to 9. Did we get that right? Yep. Our n is equal to 9 over here. Okay, so it goes up 9 times up. Next, the sound from a trumpet is emitted uniformly in all directions at 20 degrees Celsius. At point P in space, the sound intensity is 30 decibel. The intensity of air in the medium is given, velocity is given, find the displacement amplitude at point P. So the frequency is also provided to us, and pi square we can assume as 10. Now over here with regards to this, we have been given the intensity level, but we need to get the intensity in terms of watt per meter square. This is given in terms of decibels. Now we know that this 30 is actually equal to 10 of log base 10 I by I naught. I naught was 10 to the power minus 12 watt per meter square, right? So just from this you can cancel this out. So your I becomes equal to I naught, which is 10 to the power minus 12 multiplied with 10 to the power 3 over here, watt per meter square. Right, I'm keeping this again and again in order to differentiate between the units here. So that gives me the intensity as 10 to the power minus 9 watt per meter square. Now from here on out, I won't care about the unit as much, because everything else we just need to bring it into SI units and work. This is in SI units. Now the relation we'll use here is, I did this relation before as well. I was equal to 2 pi square f square a square to rho into v, where f is the frequency given to us 600 Hz, Pi square we can assume to be 10. A is given, A is exactly what we need to find, which is the displacement amplitude. Rho, the density is provided to us here, and the speed of the wave is also given as 300 meters per second. So just since we're finding for A would be equal to root over of I divided by 2 pi square f square rho into V. So if you put the values in and calculate from here, you will get A value as, and won't go into the calculations again, 5.55 Armstrong. I made it a degree. It would be an Armstrong. The circle would be right above this. So that is your A given over there. Right? So that's it. I think that concludes this paper solution. So this paper was not that difficult. Maybe one or two might be there where you might have to think, but a lot of them were formula based. So again, that's it for this session. I'll see you all in the next one.
Hello everyone, myself Aman Verma, chemistry faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya, and I welcome you all to the Grand Test 4 of All India Test Series. Guys, so we are going to solve this particular paper that you have attempted in test number 4. So let's not waste much time and quickly get started. Here comes the first question, guys. Okay, if we'll see this question, it talks about which of the following statement regarding, which of the following statement regarding HNO3 is correct. Please make a note of it. They are speaking about correct statement. They want correct statement. Let's read. Okay, concentrated nitric acid is strong oxidizing agent. Yes, it is, and attacks most metals such as gold and platinum. The first segment of the statement is right, but the second segment is wrong. So we'll mark this thing as incorrect. It is not a correct, hence not the right answer. It is used in pickling of stainless steel. What do you mean by pickling of stainless steel? It is actually pre-passivization of a stainless steel. Okay, and etching of metals, that is certainly true. So this is correct. But let's read the other two options as well. 68% nitric acid and 32% water by mass is an example of minimum. No, it is not an example of minimum boiling azeotrope. It is an example of maximum boiling azeotrope. Okay, last one, zinc reacts with dilute nitric acid to give NO2. Wrong, it does not give NO2, it gives you N2O with dilute, whereas with concentrated nitric acid it gives you NO2. Okay, so even last statement is also wrong. So out of all statements, the only statement that is correct is B. So only B is a third option. Hence, this is your right option. Okay, clear? So this question has answer as 3. Next question. Okay, which of the following electronic configuration corresponding element is wrongly matched? Okay, so the first one is thulium, americium, uranium and terbium. If you see carefully, the answer is pretty much clear, and the answer is uranium. Why? Because its electronic configuration includes 5f3, 6d1 and 7s2. Clear? Obviously the radon will be there over here. So it is 5s3, 6d1 and 7s2, and hence for this question also answer 3. Okay. Next question, assertion reason type. So assertion is in coordination entity type, this only cis isomer shows optical activity and trans isomer is optically inactive, and this is certainly right. You study this thing in coordination compound. Cis isomer of this compound is what optically active, whereas trans isomer is optically inactive because of passage of what's plane of symmetry. Okay, just to give you a visualization of their structure, let us take an example. Okay, I'll draw their cis and trans structure. This midpoint over here is platinum. The circle at the center is what? Platinum. Whereas talking about their cis configuration, this will be En, this will be En, and this is chlorine, and this is chlorine. Okay, clear? Whereas talking about their transform, again this center is what? Platinum, okay, AN, chlorine and chlorine. So here you will see there is a passage of what? Plane of symmetry, whereas there is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry in this cis form. Okay, so this is what? Cis and this is trans. Although this is not the right way of drawing, actually I should have written EN, but I guess you are comfortable enough with this structure. Okay, from top to bottom it is adding and from bottom to top it is adding. Okay, clear? So yes, the statement is right. Reason: trans isomer has plane of symmetry and hence optically inactive. Again, the assertion is also right, reason is also right, and it is the correct explanation as well. So both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. That is not the right answer. Both A and R is correct and R is the correct explanation. So we'll go with option 2. Okay, we'll go with what? Option 2. Clear? So answer for this question is this. Next, match column 1 with column 2, methods of preparations. Okay, so sodium carbonate, famous process, Solvay's process. Okay, so let's see. A goes to 4. Option 2 can be eliminated because A is 1 over here. Option 4 can be eliminated because again A is 1 over here. There are two options with A4 and A4. Okay, then sodium hydroxide from the same S block element, Kastner and Kellner cells. Okay, clear? So D goes to 2, D goes to 2, D goes to 1. So option 3 can also be eliminated, and hence the only option that is right is option 1. Okay, so that will be the right answer for match the following. Next, assertion: atomic hydrogen is produced at high temperature. True. In an electric arc under ultraviolet radiation. True. Reason: the hydrogen bond dissociation enthalpy is highest for a single bond between two atoms of any element. That is also true. Clear? So both statements are what? True, and this is the correct explanation of assertion as well. So both A and R are true, and R is correct explanation of A. That is certainly the right answer. So option 1 is the right answer. Okay, next, the number of acyclic isomer including stereoisomers for C5H10. Okay, talking about this C5H10, its degree of unsaturation, if you'll calculate, it comes out to be 1. 1 means what? Either it will have a pi bond or either it will have a cyclic chain, but they have said acyclic. Acyclic means what? There should not be any ring. Okay, so let's start. The first isomer that you can draw is this: 5 carbon atoms with a double bond, pent1-ene. Then you can shift the double bond as pen2-ene. Okay, here I can say you +1 as well. Why +1? Because this will give you cis and trans. It is stereogenic center, so it will give you a cis trans isomer. So total 3. Then longest chain consists of 4 carbon atom. Okay, so this is one of the product, this is one of the structure that can be drawn. This is another structure that you can draw, and this is the last structure. Again, what I have did is I have changed the position of what? Double bonds. Okay, clear? So how many structures that you can draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So total 6 structure you can draw, and hence option 3 is the right answer. Okay, next, this is 1,2 dichloroethane. Upon treating with what? Alcoholic KOH, it will undergo what? Elimination reaction, and A you will be getting as CH2 double bond CHCl, that is vinyl chloride. Then NaNH2 followed by hydrolysis. Okay, so this will give you what? Another elimination to give you what? Alkene. Okay, then it is treated with Grignard's reagent. But please make a note of it. This alkene is an H plus donor. It is what? An H plus donor, right? Grignard's reagent, whenever treated with a proton donor, it will get converted to hydrocarbon. So this alkyl group, being a strong base, extract the acidic hydrogen from here, and C you will get is what? Methane. So we'll go with methane. That is option number 4. Clear? Sure. Next question. Okay, so chlorine is treated with benzene in the presence of what? Iron. So you'll get what? Chlorobenzene. Okay, you'll get what? Chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene when treated with nitric acid and sulfuric acid, that is nothing but nitrating mixture. Okay, since chlorine is ortho and para directing, you will get para-chloronitrobenzene. Okay, then again it is treated with nitrating mixture. Now NO2 is meta directing, whereas chlorine is ortho and para directing. Para is already occupied, so both the option, okay, both the side, the option that is left is what? According to chloro it is ortho, but according to nitro it is what? Meta. So you will get chlorine, NO2, NO2. Now there is an electron withdrawing group at ortho and para position, and we are doing aqueous and we are doing what we say, alkaline hydrolysis. So removing this group will become easy, or removing chlorine will become easy. So this chlorine will get converted to, if I talk about option D, it will get converted to OH, that is phenol group, then NO2, and then again what? NO2. Finally again what we are doing is nitrating mixture. OH is again what? Activating group, ortho and para, and NO2 is what? Withdrawing group, that is meta position. Again the only position that is left is this. Okay, so ultimately what is E? E is picric acid, that is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Picric acid, that is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, and that is option 2. NO2, NO2, NO2 and OH over here. Okay, just a second, and see OH over here. Clear? Sure. So we'll go with option 2. Clear? Got it? Perfect. Next question. Which of the following does not produce an ether as a major product? Okay, so let's see. Here it is an ethanol treated with H2SO4 at 140 degrees Celsius. It will undergo intermolecular dehydration to give you CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3, that is diethyl ether. So it will produce, and hence not the right answer. Okay, over here it will give you what? Williamson synthesis. Alkyl halide is 1 degree. It is an alkoxide, so it will undergo what? SN2 reaction mechanism to give you the product. Again clear? Sure. Then this one, the first step is diazotization process. Why I can say that? Because aniline in the presence of sodium nitrite and HCl will give you nitrous acid, and it will carry out what? Diazotization. So it will give you what? It will give you what? Benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride, upon treatment with water that is warm, it will give you phenol. Okay, then phenol, again treatment with NaOH, this is acid and this is base, so it will give you phenoxide. And then finally it will undergo what? Again Williamson synthesis to give you toluene, anisole, not toluene, it will give you anisole, that is methoxybenzene. Clear? So option 1, option 2 and option 3 are gone. So obviously option 4 will be the right one. Benzene diazonium chloride, when treated with ethanol, it will give you aldehyde. First of all, acetaldehyde, you will be getting acetaldehyde. Please make a note of it. It will give you what? Acetaldehyde plus benzene plus nitrogen gas. Clear? Sure. So ether cannot be prepared from option 4. Next question. Phenoxide ion is more stable than carboxylate ion. Wrong statement. Assertion is wrong. Carboxylate ion is more stable. Why? Because the resonating structure are equivalent resonating structure, and secondly negative charge does the resonance on more electronegative oxygen atoms. So first statement is wrong. The negative charge is delocalized over 2 electronegative oxygen atom in carboxylate ion. It is true. So assertion is false, whereas reason is true, and that is Option 4, A is false but R is true. Clear? Next, phthalic acid, when treated with 2 equivalent of ammonia, it will give you A. Okay, so let us take phthalic acid. So this is phthalic acid. Okay, when it is treated with ammonia, okay, it is what treated with 2 moles of ammonia. So in spite of, okay, in spite of H, okay, you will get what? NH4 plus and CO minus. Similarly over here, ammonium phthalate, acid base reaction will take place. Okay, just a sec. Yes. Okay, so NH4 plus and O minus ion. Then it is heated, okay, and water molecule is lost. It is heated and water molecule is what? Lost. So this will undergo dehydration. If you heat this, so you will get CONH2. Again you will get what? CONH2. Okay, clear? Then again they are doing what? They are strongly heating it. Okay, strong heating will convert this product, that is phthalimide, into phthalimide. Okay, so the compound will look something like this. Okay, clear? Then adding base, then HBr, and then doing alkaline hydrolysis. This entire process is known as Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. It is known as what? Gabriel phthalimide synthesis, and Gabriel phthalimide synthesis is used to prepare 1 degree amine. I hope you know that thing. Okay, so what will happen when once it is treated with base? This acidic hydrogen will go. Okay, and once this acidic hydrogen goes, potassium will get attached. Okay, then this negative charge will attack on CH3 group, and then CH3 will come and attach over here. Okay, so let me show you that as well. Okay, then it is attacking on what? Methyl bromide. So in spite of this, it forms a covalent bond with nitrogen via SN2 reaction mechanism, CH3. And then finally what they are doing is alkaline hydrolysis. That means this bond breaks, hydrogen, hydrogen, OH and OH. So phthalic acid is again regenerated. Okay, and what has been formed over here is CH3 NH2, that is methylamine has been formed. Clear? And that is what F. Okay, F is what? Nitrogen containing compound is F. F cannot be prepared by which of the following reaction? F cannot be prepared by. See, the first one is Hoffman bromamide degradation. Okay, this entire group will go, and NH3, what do we say? Wait a sec. This entire group will get eliminated and NH2 will be formed. So that here the product is what? CH3 NH2 by Hoffman bromamide degradation, and hence not the right answer. Okay, if I'll take CH3Cl and treat it with ethanolic NaCN, the product that you are going to get is CH3CN, hydrogen, and then it has been hydrogenated, right? And you are going to get product as what? CH3 CH2 NH2. So here if you will see, in spite of methylamine, ethylamine is prepared, and that will be the right answer. Rest NO2, it consists of 1 carbon atom, reduces, you will get what? CH3NH2. Last one, it is an ethanol treated with this oxidizing agent, that is chromium oxide, in the presence of H2SO4, you will get carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid treated with ammonia will give you what? Carboxylate, ammonium carboxylate. It is dehydrated to give you again this compound. Okay, that is nothing but acetamide. On then again Hoffman bromamide degradation, you will get what? You will get what? Methylamine, and hence this will give methylamine and this will give methylamine, and hence not the right answer. Clear? Sure. So that's the answer for this question, option 2. Next, which of the following statement is incorrect? Okay, glucose gives shift stress and forms hydrogen sulfide addition product with NaHSO3. That itself is wrong. Okay, it does not give this test. That gives the idea that there's an absence of free aldehyde group. Next, The pentacetate of glucose does not react with hydroxylamine, indicating the absence of free OH group. That is a correct statement and hence not the right answer. On oxidation with nitric acid, concentrated nitric acid, both glucose and gluconic acid yield saccharic acid. That is certainly true and hence that's not the right answer, because we need incorrect or false statement. Glucose react with hydroxylamine to form oxime. That is true and that's why not the right answer. So the only option or the statement that is wrong is option 1 and hence that's the answer. Okay, next question. A chemical which stimulates the secretion of pepsin, theory it is histamine. That is the right answer. Clear? Next, consider the ions molecule O2 plus, O2, O2 minus and O2 2 minus. For increasing bond order, the correct option is, see, the best way to solve this question is to remember the shortcut of 14. Total number of electrons is 14, 15, or just a sec, let me write it properly. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 13, 12, 11, 10. Just to give you an example, 14 electrons is present in nitrogen gas, N2. That bond order is 3. Then decrease by 0.5. Again decrease by 0.5. Again decrease by 0.5. Again decrease by 0.5. So that's how you can remember. O2 plus is 15 electrons, 16 electrons, 17 electrons and 18 electrons. 18 electrons is present in fluorine, so it will have a single bond. O2, that is oxygen, consists of how much? 16 electrons, that is 8 plus 8 is 16. So bond order is 2 and hence that's the right answer. This is the bond order. Okay, this is the bond order. Okay, and what they have asked is increasing order from smallest to highest. So O2 minus ion will come first. So O2 2 minus ion will be coming first. Rest is O2 minus ion and hence we'll go with option 1. Clear? Got it? Sure. Perfect. So again, if you'll see, let me just write the number of electrons: 18, 17, 16 and 15. Okay, and their bond order is 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Clear? Next, which of the following statement is correct? Let's see. Nylon 6 is prepared under high pressure and a very low temperature. Wrong. It is a wrong statement. Bakelite is a thermoplastic. No, it is a thermosetting. So wrong statement. Buna S is a copolymer. Yes, this is a right statement. It's a copolymer of butadiene and acrylonitrile. So right statement, both A and C. Wrong. We'll go with option 3. Clear? Next. From each pair given below, identify the ion which is larger in size. The first is lithium and magnesium. Most of you say it is magnesium, but that is wrong. Magnesium, if you read your NCERT carefully, it is 72 picometer, whereas lithium is 76 picometer. So from pair 1, we'll go for lithium ion. In all the option, only option 1 has lithium ion. Rest all consist of magnesium ion. Okay, so we'll go with lithium ion. Next question. Identify correct statement. Hybridization of aluminium in this complex is sp3. No, it is sp3d2 and hence wrong. Boron, it's not boron, it is boron. Is able to form BF6 3-. No, it cannot form. This is a reaction and this reaction is a right reaction. SlCl6 2- is known. No, it is not known because chlorine is bigger in size and it will create what hindrance, and what do you say, steric hindrance first of all, and the repulsion between the chlorine atoms will be more. Okay, that's why it cannot be formed, whereas SiF6 is known. So the statement is opposite, so it is a wrong statement. Okay, clear? Sure. So we'll go with the option 4th, only C. Only C statement is right, rest all are wrong. Next, which of the following statement is incorrect? Incorrect. Liquid dinitrogen is used in cryosurgery. Yes, it is used because this nitrogen, what do we say, boiling point is less than minus 198 something around. So that can be used. So yes, it is used in cryosurgery. Copper plus nitric, concentrated nitric acid gives you NO2. It does not give you NO. It gives you NO2. So this might be the answer. Let's explore the other options as well. We have already discarded this. H2S2O8 contain peroxy bond. Yes, it consists of this bond. It is also known as peroxide disulfuric acid. So yes, this statement is also correct and hence not the right answer. Acidic strength is this. Again, the statement is correct and hence not the right answer. So for this question, we'll go with option 2. Next, helium is used in diving apparatus. Answer is true. Okay, this assertion, this statement is true. Reason, helium is sparingly less soluble in blood. That is also true. Okay, both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A. Yes, so we'll go with option 1. Next, in Carriers method, 0.3905 gram of an organic compound gave 0.715 of silver chloride. Calculate the percentage of chlorine in the compound. Okay, so percentage of chlorine, okay, percentage of chlorine will be equal to what? Weight of silver chloride, that is 0.715, whole divided by weight of substance, that is 0.3905 into 35.5 divided by 143.5 into 100, that is the atomic weight of chlorine and molecular weight of what? Silver chloride. Okay, clear? If you solve this thing, okay, if you solve this thing, you will get answer as 45.5. That will be the right answer. Clear? Sure. Let's proceed further. Now this is that kind of questions where you have to write the answer or you have to type the answer in the main examination. So let's solve. The 3s orbital of hydrogen atom normalized, okay, for 3s orbital of hydrogen atom, normalized wave function is given by this equation. Okay, if the distance between the radial node is this, then the value of x is, okay, the shortcut is you have to equate this thing to 0. Okay, I am directly starting with the shortcut. The shortcut is for s orbital, we have to equate this thing as 0. So see, 1 minus 13r by 36 a naught plus r square by a naught square. Okay, I am rewriting this thing as r square by 36 a naught square minus 13r by 36 a naught square plus 1. It's a quadratic equation. If you'll solve this quadratic equation, okay, and you have to equate this thing to 0. By solving this quadratic equation, you will be getting as r by 4a naught minus 1 into r by 9a naught minus 1 equal to 0. Clear? Sure. Now you can easily solve this thing. You have to equate this to 0, equate this to 0, and by solving you will get r equal to 4a naught by substituting this equal to 0 and then r equal to 9a naught. Okay, then if the distance between the radial node is xa naught, then the value of x is, here the value of x, the difference between them, 9 minus 4 is what? 5a naught. If I take the difference, that is delta r, the distance between the two nodes, it is 5a naught, and hence the x value comes out to be what? 5. So we'll go with answer 5. So for this question you have to type 5. Next question. Value of Kp for equilibrium reaction this at 288 Kelvin is 47.9. The Kc for reaction at the same temperature is, so first of all we need delta Ng value for this. Number of moles of gaseous product, how many? It is 2, minus number of moles of what is the reactant product, gaseous reactant, that is 1. That will give you what? Delta Ng is 1. Then Kp equal to Kc RT raised to delta Ng. Now this tends to 1. That means Kp equal to Kc into RT. Okay, what they have asked is Kc for the reaction. So Kc is equal to Kp by RT. What is Kp value? Kp value that they have given for the reaction is 47.9 whole divided by R value they have taken as 0.083 into 288 as a temperature. See what I am doing. I will consider this thing as 300. I will consider this thing as 48. It is 47.9, extremely sorry. It is 47.9, that is approximately 48. So this 20, I can eliminate this 20 and I can make this thing as 8.3. So it is 3 8s are 24. Approximately it is 48 by 24. So approximately answer is 2. So I will go with answer as 2, approximate answer, which is allowed. Okay, so answer will be what? 2. Is this thing clear? Sure, got it, perfect, done. Next, on dissolving 0.25 gram of non-volatile non-ionic solute, 39 gram of benzene. Okay, on dissolving this much amount of a non-volatile non-ionic solute to 36 gram of benzene. Okay, so solvent is benzene. Okay, clear? It's vapor, not vapor, it is vapor. Okay, decrease it vapor pressure. Its vapor pressure is missing over here. Its vapor pressure decreases from 650 mm of Hg to 640 mm of Hg. The depression in freezing point of benzene in Kelvin upon addition of solute is, depression in freezing point they are talking about. That means they need delta Tf I into Kf into M. Okay, clear? Sure. Now we have weight. Okay, if I want to solve this question, I will be equal to what? 1, because it does not dissociate. I will be equal to what? 1. What is the Kf value given to us? It is 5.12 into molality. What is molality? Number of moles of molality is what? Number of moles of solute divided by weight of solvent in kg or per kg of solvent. Okay, so number of moles of solute can be calculated as weight of solute upon molecular weight of solute. So weight of solute we know, but we don't know molecular weight of solute. Whole divided by 39 gram of benzene multiplied by 1000. By 1000 because weight is in grams, so we have to multiply it by 1000. This entire is for what? Molality. Now we need to know what we need to know is what? Molecular weight, and that can be calculated as what we said, that can be calculated as RLVP, through RLVP. So that is P naught minus PS by PS is equal to I times is mole fraction, but we know that since number of moles of solute is very less, we can directly take I times number of moles of solute by number of moles of solvent. So I is 1, number of moles of solute, so weight of solute is how much? 0.25. Molecular weight of solute we don't know, whole divided by 39 gram, that is weight of solvent, by molecular weight of solvent, that is benzene is 78. 12 6 are 72 plus 6 hydrogen is 78. Okay, P naught is how much? 650. So finally what I can write over here is, see, 650 minus 640 whole divided by 640 is equal to 0.25 by 78 whole divided by 39 times molecular weight of solute. If you solve this thing, you will get m value as, what? 32. Okay, since you get m value as 32, let us substitute over here. Okay, so that is 5.12 into 0.25 whole divided by, what is the molecular weight? 32 into 39 into 1000. Okay, clear? After you solve this particular question, okay, you will get answer as, what if the depression freezing point of benzene is equal to what? 1. Okay, after solving this particular question, you will get answer as what? 1. Clear? Sure? Got it? So it is somewhat approximately equal to 1. Okay, next. For this particular reaction, okay, iron plus 2 plus copper 2 plus give you iron plus 3 and copper plus of 298 Kelvin. The equilibrium constant is 10 raised to x. What is the x value? First of all, for this E naught, okay, of cell, okay, E naught of cell will be equal to cathode. Cathode is where reduction takes place, and in this case, if you will see, copper 2 plus ion has undergone reduction to form copper plus ion. So E naught is equal to what? Cu 2 plus Cu plus minus anode, that is clear? Got it? Now we need to calculate this because the standard electron potential for this is not given. Apart from that, what is given is from plus 3 to plus 1 and from plus 1 to plus 3. Okay, this is given, but this is not given. Okay, so how to calculate that? Let us first try to calculate that E naught value first. Okay, so E naught of wait a sec, E naught of iron plus 3 into iron plus 2 is equal to twice, wait a sec guys, is equal to minus okay, clear? So this is equal to how much? Twice into minus 0.42 minus of minus 0.4. So this is almost get cancelled, right? Clear? So this will be equal to, okay, this will be equal to 0.44. Okay, clear? Got it? Now we have this value, we have copper value. Can we get that E naught value over here? So from this thing, can we say E naught of a cell is equal to how much? 0.15. This will be minus of wait a sec, it is wait a sec, yes. So E naught of a cell will be equal to how much? 0.15 minus of 0.04. So if you will solve this particular question, you will get 0.44 0.59. Okay, clear? Then after that, minus RT K equivalent is equal to minus NF E naught of a cell. Okay, I am converting, first of all let us cancel out this negative sign, then I am converting this natural log to the log to the base 10 of K equivalent, and I am bringing this entire thing over here. So it is NF whole divided by RT into 2.303. Why this 2.303? Because we have converted natural log into log to the base 10, clear, into E naught of a cell. After substituting all the value, you will get the final equation as okay, clear, sure, that is approximately equal to what, 10. That is approximately equal to what, 10. And if you solve this question, you will get K equivalent as 10 raised to 10. By taking anti-log, you will get what, K equivalent as 10 raised to 10, and hence answer over here is what, 10. Clear, sure, got it, perfect. So that's the answer for this particular question, that is 10. Next, then the decomposition reaction of this thing, okay, the decomposition reaction of this thing is started in a closed cylinder under isothermal isochoric condition, that means volume remains constant at initial pressure of 1 atmosphere. Okay, initial pressure is what, 1 atmosphere. After this much of seconds, the pressure inside the cylinder is found to be 1.45. After that much, okay, if the rate constant of the reaction is this, assuming the ideal behavior of gases, the value of Y is. So first of all, okay, if you will see the rate constant, where is rate constant, right? We have read rate constant, okay. Rate constant is second inverse, and with this unit it says that it is in first order reaction. Second thing, let us write this reaction one more time. N2O5, okay, gives you N2O4 plus oxygen, okay, that is twice of this, gives you twice of this. So time t equal to 0, okay, the atmosphere was 1 atmospheric pressure, initially 1 atm, right, and there was no pressure because no products were formed. But time equal to t, that is not known, that is Y into 10 raised to 2, we found out the pressure decreases to this, okay, and by stoichiometry it is P. But at this particular time, we know that the total pressure of the system was around how much, 1.5. So can I relate this thing as 1 minus P, that is pressure of N2O5 plus pressure of N2O4 plus pressure of oxygen, that is P by 2, is equal to what, 1.45. And if you solve this thing, you will get pressure value as 0.9. Please make a note of it. You will get pressure value as what, 0.9. This is the first thing that you should know, okay, clear. Then talking about the first order reaction, the time t, okay, the time t will be equal to what, 2.303 by 2k log of 1 by 1 minus p, okay, clear, sure. Now what is the k value over here? The rate constant, k is what, rate constant, and we have 5 into 10 raised to minus 4, so 2.303 into 2 into, what is the answer over here, 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 log of 1 by 1 minus 0.9, okay. This entire thing, okay, this entire thing, 1 minus 1 by 1 minus 0.09. Can I write this equation again as log of 1 by 0.1. Oh, sorry, extremely sorry. It will be 0.1 itself. Okay, 1 by 0.1 is log 10 and log 10 is equal to 1. So this entire term tends to 1. Okay, clear? It is 5 2s are 10, so it is 10 raised to minus 3. So can I say it is 23.03 into 10 raised to minus 3? Yes. What? Sorry, 23 into 10 raised to plus 3. Wait a sec, I'll write it again one more time properly. Okay, so what we have left over here is this. Okay, so 2.303, this will be 5 2s are 10 and this is what? 10 raised to minus 3. 10 raised to minus 3 gone up. Okay, so it will be 2.303 into 10 raised to plus 3. Minus 3 gone up becomes plus 3 and that is equal to what? 23.03 into 10 raised to 2. Time is 23.03 into 10 raised to 2 and what they have asked is value of y. Okay, so value of y, the answer is 23. Okay, the value of y, the answer is what? 23. Clear? Sure. Next, 3.12 gram of oxygen is adsorbed on 1.2 gram of platinum metal. The volume of oxygen adsorbed per gram of adsorbent at 1 atmospheric pressure 300 Kelvin in liter is, R value is this much. Simple equation, PV equal to nRT. Volume we need to know. What we have is number of moles, that is 3.12 gram by 32 grams molecular weight. So that gives you number of moles. R value we have 0.082. Temperature is 300. Whole divided by what is the pressure? Pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure. Okay, so this get cancelled, right? This is how much? 0.1 times and this is like 3 8s are 24. So approximately I'll take 2.4 liters. Okay, clear? Sure. Volume of gas adsorbed? Okay, volume of oxygen adsorbed per gram will be 2.4 by 1.2 gram, that is approximately equal to 2. So again the answer is over here is what? 2. Clear? Sure. Got it. So that's the answer for this particular question. Next. Okay, so this is the equation given to us. If the above equation is balanced with integer coefficient, the values of b plus c minus x plus y plus z is. So first of all we need to balance this thing. For balancing you can use two things. You can use oxidation half method or oxidation method or half reaction method. I am going to use a half reaction method. I am directly going to equate. So this is the case. Let us take MnO4 minus, okay, gives you Mn2 plus. Let us solve this question and then we will take the second half of it. Okay, and this is capital C over here. Manganese is balanced, 4 oxygen, that means 4 H2O, that means 8 H plus ion. Talking about balancing of charges, there is 7 positive charge over here and 2 positive charge. So total is 5 positive is missing. Okay, so we need to add 5 electron over here. So first thing is done. Okay, second one, C2, that is oxalate ion, C2O4, 2 minus ion gives you CO2, right? So 2 carbon, 4 hydrogen is done. There is 2 negative charge over here. To balance out that negative charge, I have to multiply it by 2 electron. Now number of electron need to be balanced. So this first equation need to be multiplied by 2 and this equation need to be multiplied by 4. and then we have to add the then we have to add the equation. So 10 electrons and 10 electrons will get cancelled. The final equation I am going to write it in this term. If you multiply this thing over here, you will get 2 MnO4 minus, okay, 2 MnO4 minus, clear. Then comes C2O4, so here it will be 5 C2O4 2 minus ion, okay. Then H plus, 2 8s are 16 H plus, gives you Mn2 plus, so this is 2 Mn2 plus. Talking about CO2, that is Y, so it is 10 CO2 plus water is how much? Over here water is how much? 8 H2O. Okay, and what is the equation? B plus C. So this is B and this is C. So 16 plus 5 minus X plus Y plus Z, that is 2 plus 10 plus 8. So 18 and this 20, 16 and 5 is 21. 21 minus 20, that is equal to 1. So we will get answer as 1. Clear? Perfect. Next question. Standard entropy for X2, Y2 and XY3 are 40, 20 and this joule per Kelvin per mole respectively. For this particular reaction, delta H is 10 kilojoules to be at equilibrium at the temperature in okay. So first of all we need to calculate entropy, because we know that at equilibrium, okay, at equilibrium delta G is 0, that is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So according to this equation, delta H is equal to T delta S. Clear? Sure. So let us calculate delta S now. Delta S is what? Entropy of product, change in entropy of product minus change in entropy of reactant. Okay, so what is entropy of product? It is XY3 and what is it? 30. So it is 30 minus entropy of reactant, that is half, stoichiometry is half, and X2 is how much? X2 is 40. Again 3 by 2, Y2 is how much? 20. So this is how much? 20 times 10 times. Okay, so that is 30 plus over here, this will be plus. So this is 50. So 30 minus 50, that is equal to minus 20. Clear? So let us solve this thing. Delta H, okay, if I take delta H value, it is minus 10 kilojoules. So it is minus 10 into 1000. Okay, clear? T delta S, okay, T we don't know, but delta S is how much? Minus 20. So this minus and this minus will get cancelled. Okay, clear? This 0 and this 0 will get cancelled. 2 by 1000 is what? 500. So T is equal to 500 Kelvin. So the answer over here will be how much? 500 Kelvin. Clear? Perfect. So that is the answer over here. Next question. An ionic solid crystallizes in FCC with a unit cell edge length of A. So let us make an ionic solid first of all. Okay, then the distance between the two centers of the distance between the centers of two nearest octahedral voids in the crystal lattice. Okay, so in FCCs you know that it is present along this somewhere over here, and the distance is a by 2. Similarly over here the distance is what? A by 2, right? We'll take distance over here, and this is x, and this is a right angle triangle, right? We don't know this x, we need to calculate this x. That's what they have asked, right? So according to Pythagoras theorem, it is what? A by 2 square, that is a square plus b square, that is again a by 2 square equal to x square. X is equal to root of a by 2 square, a by 2 square, that is equal to root of 2a square by 4, that is equal to a by root 2. Okay, so what is the value of k? K value is 2. Clear? Sure. So that is the answer for this particular questions. Okay, next. A solution is prepared by mixing 0.01 mole of each, that is H2CO3, sodium, that is carbonic acid, sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate, and NaOH in 100 ml of water. The pH of the resulting solution is nearly equal to. pK1 and pK2 of carbonic acid is already given. Okay, first of all, what we are mixing? We are mixing an acid, okay, and we are mixing a base. Okay, there is one salt present and there is one acidic component present. Okay, so if you will see the reaction of acid and base, you will take carbonic acid. Okay, you treat it with NaOH. What you are going to get is they will completely neutralize each other to give you sodium bicarbonate. So 0.01 mole into 0.01 mole, they both will get consumed, and what will be formed is 0.02 moles of sodium bicarbonate. Okay, this will be formed. Is this thing clear? Sure. So this is completely going to get consumed and that is going to be formed. Now, ultimately what is present in the equation? These are the two things that is present. Okay, clear? It's in salt and it's in weak acid. So it forms a buffer solution of what? NaHCO3 in Na2CO3, that is salt. In acid is what? NaHCO3. Okay, it forms a buffer solution of that particular compound. Okay, so for that thing, the pH can be calculated as pK, okay, plus log of salt versus acid. pK2 is how much? 10.31 plus log of salt. Salt is how much mole? 0.01 mole by acid, that is 0.02 mole. Okay, that is equal to what? 1 by 2. That is equal to how much? 10.31 plus log of 1 minus log of 2. Log of 1 tends to 0. Log of 2 is 0.3. So if I substitute over here 10.31 minus 0.3, you will get approximately answer as 10. Okay, so the pH of the solution is nearly equal to what? 10. Clear? Sure. Done. So with this thing guys, we have completed all the questions that was there in your grand test 4. I hope that guys you have understood all the solutions, but still if you have any doubts, any difficulties, you can comment this, you can comment it on YouTube and we'll definitely take care of it and we'll revert you over there. So guys, with this thing, thank you so very much for joining for the solution of grand test 4. Take care, keep smiling.
Hi dear students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. This is Bashir. Let us discuss GTM 4 math part. Now you see this is the exam dated 9th Jan 23. So grand test 4, my dear friends. Coming to the first question, you see this, in a certain town 25% of families own a cell phone, 15% families own a scooter, and 65% of the families own neither a cell phone nor a scooter, right? If 1500 families own both a cell phone and scooter, then the total number of families in the town. You can just take the Venn diagram, my dear friends. So, there are two items, one is cell phone, other is scooter. You see, we can say 65% of the families own neither a cell phone nor scooter, in the sense, let us suppose total 100 members, 65 will be here, right? Then I want this 1500 families, this is the number, others are given in percentages. Suppose both the number of families, percentage of families which own both is suppose x, total cell phones is 25%, means it is going to be 25 minus x, and scooters is going to be 15%, means it is 15 minus x. So, sum of the 4 areas, if you take complete a Venn diagram, there are 4 disjoint regions, the sum of 4 must be 100. That means 25 minus x plus x is already 25, 25 plus 15 minus x, since it is 65, it must be 35, my dear friends. So, x is going to be 5, that means 5% should take this place, but that is given as 1500. If 5% is 1500, 10% is 3000, 100% is 30,000, my dear friends. 30,000 is going to be 100%, that is total number of families in the town, that is all. Next, you see dear friends, this is the ordered triad alpha, beta, gamma is a solution of system of linear equations, then the straight line in the xy plane which contains the point alpha, comma, beta. That means friends, you need to find a solution of this. So, let us go with rank method, but x coefficient you observe for the first equation, x coefficient is 3, second equation 2, third equation 4. So, no number is so comfortable. So, whereas if I see z coefficient, see here 1. So, why do not we take z first, then x, then y, anything is fine. So, what I do is I take in the order of z, x, y, I am feeling z is the first variable, that is it. So, you just take like augmented matrix, the first one is going to be, dear friends, z coefficient is 1, x coefficient is 3, y is minus 2 and constant is minus 6, because you have to take the constant this side. The second equation friends, this is going to be minus 3 z coefficient, x is 2, y is 5 and constant is 2. The third equation, z coefficient 5, x 4 and y is minus 9, constant is minus 14. This is the one. So, this is the augmented matrix A by B. With the help of this one, I want to make these two 0. So, what I do is R2 I change as, you see, let me write directly. So, first row I do not want to disturb. R2 I change as 3 times, this is R2 I change as R2 plus 3 times R1. So, that multiply this with 3 and add 0, 9 plus 2 11, this is minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1, this is minus 18 plus 2 is minus 16. Next, R3 I change as R3 minus 5 times R1. So, my dear friends, here you just multiply this with 5 and subtract, this is 0, this is 15, 4 minus 15 minus 11, then this is going to be minus, this is multiplied with minus 5, in the sense minus 10 plus this is going to be 1. Next, this is minus 30, if you just add to this you will get 16. This is the matrix. Interesting, R3 is quite opposite of R2. So, you just do R3 as R3 plus R2. So, that my dear friends, first row will be unaltered, second is 0, 11, minus 1, minus 16, third will become 0, 0, 0, 0. Clearly, rank of A is 2, rank of A by B is 2. That means the system will have infinitely many solutions, not a single solution. But still, how to handle, friends? That means, my dear friends, you can also take those infinitely many solutions in this way, my dear friends. You can take like, you see here in this stage what you can do is, you can write the reduced equations like, So this is z variable, you just remember this is z plus 3x minus 2y is equal to minus 6. The second equation becomes 11x minus y is equal to minus 16. From this I need to find infinitely many solutions, means x and y and z can be represented in some other parameter. Suppose he said the solution is alpha, beta, gamma. Let us suppose z is gamma. So if z is gamma, my dear friends, you will get 3x minus 2y is equal to minus 6 minus gamma. This is going to be 11x minus y is going to be minus 16. Now you solve these two equations x and y. You try to find x in terms of gamma, y in terms of gamma. So suppose you multiply this with 2, 11 becomes 22, this is 2, this is minus 32, my dear friends. Now you just subtract, so that this becomes minus 19x is equal to 32 minus 6 minus gamma. So x is going to be, my dear friends, this is 26, right? This is 32 minus 6 is going to be, you can say 26 minus gamma by minus 19, that is gamma minus 26 by 19. This is x value in terms of gamma. In the same way, y can also be found in terms of gamma. Y is, you can write 11x plus 16. So this is 11 into gamma minus 26 by 19 plus 16. You just simplify this, you will get an expression in terms of gamma. Now you got x in terms of gamma, y in terms of gamma. You need to substitute which equation satisfies that. You just try and substitute in second equation, you are going to get, it is going to be satisfied, my dear friends. You see, denominator 19 is available here itself. So this is why I am going to try with second option. You just try, it gets satisfied. That's all, my dear friends. Okay, bit lengthy problem, but can do within the time. Okay, next, you see this question, a bar, b bar are given. Of course, there is an unknown called x here. He wants a cross b magnitude is r, then the value of r cannot be. Here you just try to find a cross b, I cap, j cap, k cap. A vector is 2 minus x 1, second is 1 minus 1 2. So this is I cap into minus 2x plus 1 minus j cap into, you can say 4 minus 1 3 plus k cap into, this is going to be minus 2 plus x. Right, my dear friends? What about its magnitude, my dear friends? Square root of 2x minus 1 whole square is 4x square minus 4x plus 1. This is going to be 9. The next one is x minus 2 whole square is x square minus 4x plus 4, which is, my dear friends, square root of, you can say 5x square minus 8x plus 14. This is going to be magnitude of a cross b. Here it is a quadratic expression under square root, its upper parabola, its minimum value is 4ac minus b square by 4a. That is, my dear friends, 4ac minus 64 b square by 4a, 4 into 5. Of course, square root is there. So this expression's minimum value is this. You can say, my dear friends, 14 minus 16 by 5, which is, my dear friends, this is 70 minus 16. So 54 by 5 approx root 11, my dear friends. Root 11 means we can say 3.3 something. Okay, 3.3 in the sense, you see, this must be minimum 3.3. That means the square root of this must be greater than or equal to 3.3. All these are greater than or equal to 3.3 possible, but 3 is impossible. 3 is impossible. The minimum value itself almost root 11, right? So, my dear friends, he said r cannot be 3, my dear friends. Next, you see this question, two vertical poles of height a and b meters stand apart on a horizontal plane. Two vertical poles, suppose, of height a and b stand on a horizontal plane. The height in meters of the point of intersection of the lines. joining the top of each pole to the foot of the other pole. You see, this top is joined with this base and this top is joined with this base, right. So, this is the point of intersection. I want to find this x. Suppose, my dear friends, let it be height h, let me write. Suppose this is x and y. Why can't I use similar triangles logic here? You see, in this triangle, when you take a by h, you have to take the total x plus y by y, my dear friends, which gives, I can say, a by h is equal to 1 plus x by y. In the same way, second one, from this triangle, if you take b by h, in this case total is x plus y, b by h by, you see, this is going to be x. Yes, which implies, my dear friends, b by h is 1 plus y by x. So, one thing is clear, my dear friends, b by h minus 1 is y by x, a by h minus 1 is x by y, this product is 1. If this product is 1, you just see, my dear friends, ab by h square minus a by h minus b by h plus 1 is equal to 1, which is 0. You multiply with h square, my dear friends, you will get ab equal to a plus b into h, and hence, friends, I can say h is ab by a plus b. That's all. So, in that case, h is going to be ab by a plus b. That's it. Simple application, right? Next, my dear friends, a right circular cone is inscribed in a sphere of radius 3√2 units. Suppose, my dear friends, there is a right circular cone. So, I mean, sphere of radius is given 3√2. Say, let it be capital R. The radius of the base of the cone, so that the volume of the cone is maximum. You see, in which we need to inscribe a cone. Yeah. Suppose this is the vertical height, say h, this is the base radius of the cone. As the cone varies, r is a variable, even h is a variable. You know, my dear friends, to take the maximum volume, minimum, this optimum situation, the center of the sphere coincides with the axis. That means the axis of the cone, undoubtedly. So, suppose the radius of the sphere capital R is 3√2, so this is capital R. So, we can also say this is also going to be capital R, right. So, one small observation is this part, this is going to be h minus r, because height is the total height of the cone, h minus r whole square plus small r square is going to be capital R square, right. So, you can just simplify r square is equal to h square plus r square minus 2hr. So, this r square got cancelled. You can write r square is equal to 2hr minus h square. You know why, friends? Because I want to maximize the volume of the cone. Volume of the cone is 1/3 pi r square h, where h is the vertical height. So, it is easy to write r square in terms of h, pi by 3 into r square, you can write 2hr minus h square into h. So, why don't you treat it like pi by 3 into 2h square r minus h cube. This is the function in h. You know, h is a variable. So, for minimum or maximum, let us take the derivative of this, which is going, derivative should be made equal to 0. This is going to be 2 capital R into h square, derivative is 2h minus 3h square. So, this is the derivative of this, it must be equated to 0. Of course, pi by 3 will be. So, h is equal to 0 is one possibility. In that case, there is no cone. So, volume is minimum case, that is. The other case is, you see, we cancel h now, you will get 4r is equal to, we can say 3h. I have to maintain h is equal to 4r by 3. So, to make the volume maximum, so I have to maintain h like this. Already this r is already there. So, this must be r by 3, my dear friends, r by 3. So, what should be small r? Small r is going to be r square minus r by 3 whole square, which is r square by 9, which is 8 by 9 r square, my dear friends. This small r square is equal to, this is r square into r by 3, r square minus r square by 9, which is r square into 8 by 9. So, my dear friends, so small r is going to be root 8 by 3 into capital R, where capital R is given as 3 root 2, my dear friends, root 16, which is equal to 4. So, we have to take small r to be 4 to maintain the volume of the cone to be maximum, right. Next. So, next one, the point P alpha comma beta, where beta is positive, is the point of intersection of curve 1 and curve 2, where curve 1 is this parabola, curve 2 is this ellipse, right. So, the normal to the curve at C1 at the point P passes through the point. That means you have to find the point P. You need to solve this equation, my dear friends. Simply replace y square by 24x. You are going to get the point of intersection to be 6 comma 12, my dear friends. You just see, yeah, yes, 6 comma 12. So, this is the point. You just solve, you will get the point. So, simply replace y square by 24x, you will get a quadratic equation in x. You solve it, you will get x value. Then after that, my dear friends, accordingly you have to take y value. So, x must be positive, my dear friend, because y square positive means x must be positive. You have to take the positive one, 6 comma 12. After that, my dear friends, the normal to this particular curve at 6 comma 12 passes through. Here you can write normal equation directly, like y plus 80 is equal to 80q plus 280, or else what is the slope of the tangent? 2y y dash is equal to 24 is the slope of the tangent at the point 6 comma 12 means 2 into 12 into y dash is equal to 24, y dash is equal to 1. That means tangent slope is going to be 1, therefore normal slope is going to be, yeah, minus 1. So, what is the equation of the line with slope minus 1 and passing through 6 comma 12? It is simple, x plus y is the line with slope minus 1 passing through 6 comma 12 means 18. This is the line, my dear friends. The normal to the curve at C1 at the point P is nothing but x plus y is 18. You just check out of this satisfies x plus y is equal to 18, my dear friends. That is all, simple. Next. Negation of P by implies Q is a standard property. For by implies Q, negation means you can remove the bracket, you can put negation to any of the symbols. If you put negation here, it is P by implies Q. This is correct. First statement is by default, it's a very clear property. And this is, tautology is wrong, because P by implies Q, we know in 2 cases it is true, in 2 cases it is false. This is false, my dear friends. So, statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false, my dear friends. This is the answer. Next, you see the equation of the tangent at the point on the curve. The equation of the tangent at the point on the curve where the normal to the curve makes equal intercepts with the positive coordinate axis. Here, so if any line makes equal intercepts with positive coordinate axis, its slope is minus 1, my dear friends. When normal slope is minus 1, tangent slope must be 1. So, tangent slope means derivative. So, you just try to take the derivative, my dear friends. 9 into 2y y dash is equal to 3x square, right. So, here y dash must be 1. Suppose the point is say x1 y1. So, this is going to be 3 times 6y1 into y dash say 1 is equal to x1 square. So, for our point what I am talking about say x1 y1, this is the condition, like 6y1 must be equal to x1 square. Moreover, x1 y1 satisfies this condition also. Just here raise to the power 3, this is 6 cube y1 cube is equal to x1 power 6. If you just square here, you will get 81 y1 power 4 is equal to x1 power 6, right. You just equate them, 6 cube y1 cube is equal to 81 y1 power 4. One of the possibilities y1 is 0, otherwise these two can be cancelled, say y1 is going to be another this is going to be 6 cube by 81, that is 3 cube into 2 cube by, this is 3 power 4 my dear friends, which is 8 by 3 you are going to get. So he said, yeah, positive, that point is going to be, you can say, if x1 is 0, y1 is 0, this is one possibility. Other possibility, y coordinate is 8 by 3. If y coordinate is 8 by 3, you can find x coordinate. 9 into y coordinate, this is 64 by 9 is equal to x cube my dear friends. This is 4 cube. 4 comma 8 by 3 is the point. Okay. Right, in this case he is asking the equation of the tangent to the curve. Already I know tangent slope is 1, so it is like x plus y equal to 0, this is not there, and it has to pass through this particular point 4 comma 8 by 3 my dear friends. You see, slope is going to be 1 means it must be like x minus y, this is 12 plus 8 like 20 by 3. You just substitute my dear friends, you are going to get the answer accordingly. So just find the point first, accordingly you can find the tangent, because I want the equation with slope 1 means x minus y is equal to, you are going to get this particular equation my dear friends. Okay. Yeah. You may guess minus here, check properly and you will get calculation part, but this is the procedure. Normal slope minus 1, so tangent slope is 1, so derivative must be equal to, this is the point. So from this equation you just find y1 coordinates. Once you get y1, you can automatically get x1 and simplify accordingly, right. Next my dear friends, you see this definite integral 0 to 1 root x by 1 plus x 3 plus x. So this is, you just take root x is equal to t my dear friends. So 1 by 2 root x into dx is going to be dt. So I can say the definite integral becomes, when x is 0 t is 0, when x is 1 t is 1, this is root x by, you can say 1 plus t square into 3 plus t square, but dx can be written as 2 root x dt. So friends, 2 times integral 0 to 1, root x into root x is x, you can say t square by 1 plus t square into 3 plus t square dt my dear friends. This is bit easy now, because you can split it into partial fractions, where I can write it as, you see, this you can write integral 0 to 1, of course 2 times, 3 by 3 plus t square minus 1 by 1 plus t square my dear friends. So you just check what happens with this 3 plus t square. So this is 3t square, I can say 3 plus 3t square, 3 plus 3t square, this is minus 3 gets cancelled, minus t square is 2t square. So you can write by 2 here. This perfectly fits with this, and you know how to find the integral. This is 3 times integral a square by x square is 1 by a tan inverse x by a, that is 3 by root 3, minus this is tan inverse t. Between the limits my dear friends, you can say 0 to 1. You just substitute friends, you will get root 3 into, this is pi by 6 minus pi by 4 minus 0. So you just simplify my dear friends, this is going to be, you can simplify this, you will get the answer like pi by 8 into root 3 by 2 kind of you are going to get. That is all, simplification it is, okay, that is all. Next, in the same way, you see this question, the differential equation that is given, it is alignment of the terms. You see this is going to be dx by x minus dy by y plus my dear friends, this is going to be x square dy by x minus y whole square minus y square dx by x minus y whole square. This is what we got here, right. You just, this one you can write dx by x is easy to take the integral, and dy by y also. You just divide the numerator and denominator with x square y square, so that you will get dy by y square minus dx by x square by, if you divide with x square y square by xy means 1 by y minus 1 by x whole square this is. So friends, here one more interesting point is dx by x minus dy by y. So why can't we take it as d of 1 by y minus 1 by x whole square, not whole square, this is, you see 1 by x derivative is minus 1 by x square into its derivative 1 by y derivative is minus 1 by y square into dy minus plus 1 by x square into dx. It perfectly fits with this. You just see, my dear friends, its derivative 1 by x derivative minus 1 by x square into its derivative minus 1 by y square into dy plus 1 by x square into dx. If you just take minus common, you will get the same. So my dear friends, if you integrate now, this becomes ln x minus ln y. So ln of x by y plus this is derivative of that in the sense 1 by y, 1 by y minus 1 by x you will get, which is xy by x minus y. First option perfectly fits with this. Just alignment of terms, my dear friends. Next, the area bounded by the curve 4y is equal to 4 minus x square with modulus 7 minus mod x in square units. You see, you just need to draw the graph. This is, my dear friends, 4 minus x square you try to draw. First of all, when it is positive, my dear friends, you see, say 0, this becomes 0 at 2. So 4 minus x square is a curve which when x is equal to 0, my dear friends, it is going to be 4. When x is equal to 2, it is 0, it is a down parabola. In fact, after x is equal to 2, 4 minus x square is negative. So x square minus 4 it becomes, it goes like this. You know, actual x square minus 4, it is very easy. This is x square minus 4 means it comes like this. Modulus means negative parts goes up. Those are the three simple points to draw this particular curve. So my dear friends, I think you got my point. Let me repeat. This is y is equal to x square curve. X square minus 4 means it comes down by 4 units. Again, modulus means this negative part is to be taken out and should be bring up, right? That's what it is going to happen there, but I am just writing in a way that you can understand easily, right? Next, my dear friends, of course, when x and minus x same output, so you no need to worry, you can just draw this curve comfortably this side. Next, 7 minus mod x, when x is positive, it is going to be y is equal to 7 minus x itself, which is a straight line with negative slope. At x is equal to 0, it is going to be 7, my dear friends. When x is equal to 7, it is 0. So suppose 7, it is 0. Yes, you just check where these two will be equal. This is going to be x square minus 4 and this is going to be 7 minus x. So x square plus x plus, you can say, my dear friends, x, this is going to be, this curve is going to be x square minus 4. This side, this is 7 minus x. Just equate these two. X square plus x is equal to, you can say, 7 plus 4, that is going to be 11. Okay. So if x is equal to 4, this is going to be, my dear friends, yeah, you just solve these two. So where they are going to meet, my dear friends, this is going to be by 4 is there, that you need to observe, my dear friends. We didn't observe this 4. So because of this, you can just change the curve, my dear friends. Yeah, let me take up this. So this first curve is going to be, I can say, y is equal to, of course, 4 minus x square with modulus by 4 it is. So at this curve is going to be, my dear friends, 1/4 of that it is going to be. So if you put x is equal to 2 minus 2, at 0 it is going to be, I can say, 4 by 4, this is 1. At 2 it is 0, undoubtedly this and this. Then it increases and same kind of curve, because just magnitude is diminished by 4th. Then when x is positive, 7 minus mod x. When x is 0, it is 7. When x is 7, it is 0. Yes, you just see where these two are going to intersect. When x is more than 2, this is x square minus 4 by 4 is equal to 7 minus x, my dear friends, which is I can say x square by 4 minus 1 is equal to 7 minus x square by 4 plus x is equal to 8, x square plus 4x is equal to 32. So, if you put x is equal to 4, it satisfies. This point is nothing but x is equal to 4, and f of minus x is also minus x, the same thing also comes here. What is the area inscribed between these two curves, my dear friends? This is the area, and it is very clear that you see left side area, right side of y axis both are the same. So, the area we can take like 2 times, my dear friends. First part area up to here, upper curve is this, lower curve is this. Upper curve is 7 minus x minus lower curve it is 4 minus x square, my dear friends, dx integral 0 to 2 plus from 2 to 4 you can observe this is 7 minus x itself, integral 2 to 4 this is 7 minus x, whereas this curve is going to be x square minus 4, x square minus 4 dx, my dear friends. Now, you just simplify, you are going to get the answer as 32. It is a simple polynomial, you can integrate, right. Next, my dear friends, it is very simple. Sin inverse x related 20 terms are added, answer is 10 pi. Sin inverse x maximum value is pi by 2 and each one must be pi by 2 because there are 20. Only possibility is 20 into pi by 2 is going to become 10 pi. So, no entry, no xi can be other than 1. So, each xi is 1, my dear friends. Then only pi by 2 will be added 20 times, it becomes 10 pi. So, all xi, that is x1 is equal to x2 is equal to x20, all the 20 are going to be 1. Now, sum of all xi's is going to be 20 divided by 10, answer is 2, that is all, 2 is the answer, right. Next, you see S1 is a circle and its image in the line y is equal to x is S2. Here for any curve f of x comma y equal to 0, image of this about y is equal to x is nothing but f of y comma x is equal to 0. So, that image you can already find, my dear friends. S2 curve you can write, this is x square plus y square minus 4y minus 8x. So, this becomes minus 8x minus 4y plus 4 equal to 0, that is all. S2 is found. Now, the radius of the circle touching y is equal to x line at 1 comma 1 and orthogonal to S2. I have to find a circle which touches y is equal to x at 1 comma 1. In fact, infinitely many circles will be there, but that is orthogonal to first circle. So, any of that circle, by family of circles I can take, like you treat 1 comma 1 as a point circle like x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square equal to 0. Line L is like y is equal to x. Why can't we write the required circle like s plus lambda L is equal to 0? Already lambda is used, you can use mu. So, S is going to be, my dear friends, x square plus y square minus 2x minus 2y plus 2 you can write, yes, plus mu into L is going to be x minus 5 equal to 0. Why don't I write it as x square plus y square plus mu minus 2 into x plus you can say minus of, you can write mu plus 2 into y plus 2 equal to 0. Now, this circle and this circle, these two are orthogonal to each other. 2g g dash, we can apply the condition 2g g dash plus 2f f dash is equal to c plus c dash. So, what is 2g? You can take like mu minus 2, g dash is going to be minus 4 plus 2f is, I can write minus of mu plus 2 into f dash is going to be minus 2, my dear friends, into 2 is equal to c plus c dash. C is 4 here, 4 plus 2. From this you will get mu, my dear friends. Mu is going to be, you just see, this is minus 4 mu plus 8, this is 2 mu plus 4 is equal to 6. which is going to be minus 2 mu, this is going to be minus 6. So, mu is going to be 3, my dear friends. Once mu is 3, you just try to find this circle, you can find its a center, you can find. This is 3 minus 2 is 1, 3 plus 2 is 5, right. X square plus y square, this is 3 in the sense, plus x, this is going to be minus 5y plus 2 equal to 0. This is the required circle, my dear friends. Now you can find its radius. That radius is to be compared with 3 by root lambda, you will get lambda is equal to 2, lambda square plus 2 is going to be 6, my dear friends. That's all, simple. Okay. So, we have found S2, the required circle you can take like x plus lambda L is equal to 0, and now you just apply orthogonality condition between these two. Okay. Next, you see this is another function, f1 is this function, f of x is equal to x, f2 is this function. Now, statement 1, capital F of x is f1 into f2. Are here at x is equal to 0, fine. f1 into f2 when x not equal to 0 means x into sine 1 by x. He is asking whether it is continuous or not. Yes, my dear friends, limit extends to 0. This goes to 0 into, it is a bounded value between minus 1 and 1. So, the limit is 0, my dear friends, and function value is also 0. It is continuous at 0. So, else otherwise it is no problem. So, at all the other real values it is continuous. So, my dear friends, statement 1 is correct because at x at 0, x into sine 1 by x is limit is 0, function value is 0, continuous. Whereas, if you see separately, this is continuous polynomial, whereas this is limit extends to 0, sine of 1 by 0 is an oscillating value, we can't say a fixed number. So, my dear friends, I can say f2 is discontinuous at x is equal to 0. So, f1 and f2 are continuous is a blunder. So, statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is false, my dear friends. So, statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false, that is all, right. Next, my dear friends, the absolute value of difference of the solutions of the equation. And here you just take like sigma m is equal to 1 to 6, you treat like cosecant A into cosecant B. So, let me write like sigma m is equal to 1 to 6, 1 by sin A sin B, my dear friends. So, now in the next step what I write is sigma sin of B minus A by sin A sin B. You see friends, what is B minus A? B minus A, if you do theta gets cancelled, m pi by 4 minus m minus 1 pi by 4 is pi by 4, sin pi by 4 is, this is sin pi by 4 will be left 1 by root 2, you just multiply with root 2. Now it is clear, this is 1 by root 2 got cancelled, this is clear. Now you expand by sin of B minus A, which is root 2 into sigma, sin B minus A means sin B cos A minus cos B sin A by sin A sin B. Friends, in this stage it is root 2 into, if you separate your sin A sin B, if you separate, this is cot A minus cot B. My dear friends, sigma cot A is cot of m minus 1 into pi by 4, this is cot of m minus 1 into pi by 4 minus cot of m pi by 4 plus theta, of course here also plus theta. Now, when you put m is equal to 1, this becomes first element is cot theta, second here first gets cancelled. After applying sigma, after cancellations, you are going to get, when m is equal to 6, cot of, you are going to get 6 pi by 4 is 3 pi by 2 plus theta, which is friends, this is cot theta plus tan theta it is. So, he is asking us, of course, root 2 into. So, now he is asking this value must be 4 root 2, my dear friends, and hence the equation is going to be, we can write here tan theta plus cot theta is going to be 4. You just take cot theta as 1 by tan theta, you will get a quadratic equation in tan theta. If you solve, you will get tan theta is equal to 2 plus or minus root 3. In the first quadrant 0 to pi by 2, so one is 15 degrees, other is 75 degrees. He is asking the absolute value of difference of the solutions. 75 degrees minus 15 degrees, 60 degrees is the answer. That's it. Okay. Next, my dear friends, the number of times the digit 3 will be written when listing the integers from 1 to 1000. Arey yaar, single digit numbers you will get 3 only once. Double digit numbers if you take, suppose if you write 3 here, there will be 10 such possibilities. If you write 3 here, here you cannot write 0, so 9 such possibilities. There may be 33 also, my dear friends, no issue. Okay, 3 here case, 3 here case, right? Next, I can write, so triple digit numbers, how many numbers will be there here such that here it is 3. So first let me write this case. If it is 3 here, here you can write 10 ways, you can say 100 cases. And suppose if you write 3 here, so you are left with 2 digits. Here you cannot put 0, here it can be filled in 9 ways, here 10 ways, here 90 ways, my dear friends. Then if you put 3 here, you can say 9 into 10, 90 possibilities are there. Altogether, my dear friends, 180, 190, 200 and 100, 300 such possibilities will come, my dear friends. You just see 3 how many times it appears. You see 3 as a single digit number, 2 digit numbers, how many numbers will be there where 3 is here, 3 is here. I am counting these 3's only, my dear friends. Please do remember. So 3 here, here I counted, so I got 300 numbers, right? Next, you see B1, B2, B3 where B1 is positive are 3 successive terms of a GP with common ratio R, then the value of R for which the inequality holds. You see, why don't you take B1 like some A, B2 like some AR, B3 will be AR square. Now the inequality will become AR square greater than 4 times AR minus 3 times A. Why don't you cancel A? R square minus 4R plus 3 is greater than 0. So you can say R minus 1 into R minus 3 is greater than 0. So R must be either less than 1 or more than 3, my dear friends. So be positive, okay, fine, holds. R must be, out of these R cannot be between 1 and 3. So these are ruled out, my dear friends. R possibility 3.5 is possible here, right? Next, my dear friends, you see the farthest point on the circle from the origin is, you see my dear friends, this is a circle with center you can say 1, 2, radius 5 plus 11, 16, radius 4, my dear friends, say radius 4. Now origin, if you substitute S11 is negative, S11 is minus 11 negative, origin will be somewhere inside itself, okay, origin center C, okay. Now the farthest point on the circle, suppose this is the farthest point P, my dear friends, this is origin 0, 0. Now I just want the point P, my dear friends. You do one thing, what is this distance? Root 5. This point is say some alpha, beta. Now one thing I can say, OP is divided by C in the ratio root 5 is to 4 internally. So can I write like root 5 into P coordinates plus 4 into origin coordinates by 4 plus root 5 will give you center C coordinates, like dividing the points in the ratio M is to N. I have written in simple language, okay. So my dear friends, from this root 5 P is going to be 4 plus root 5 into center coordinates, that is P point I want. In fact, if you divide with root 5, 4 by root 5 plus 1 into C coordinates. C coordinates are nothing but 1 comma 2. So this is going to be 1 plus 4 by root 5 comma 2 plus 8 by root 5. That's all. This is going to be option 2, my dear friends. Simple. Next. See, the value of this limit extends to 0, cos of sin square x minus cos of x square by x power 6. You see, my dear friend, this is limit extends to 0, cos c minus cos d. Why don't you write minus 2 sin c plus d by 2, sin square x plus x square by 2 into sin of c minus d by 2, that is sin square x minus x square by 2 by x power 6, my dear friends. Now it is as extends to 0, this goes to 0, this goes to 0. If it is theta, why don't you multiply with this theta here and this theta here? In that case, this totally will become 1, this also becomes 1. So the problem will be limit extends to 0 minus 2 into, you just see sin square x plus x square by 2 into sin square x minus x square, means you can write sin x plus x by 2 into sin x minus x by, my dear friends, I can say x power, sin theta by theta, right? I mean to say x power 6, let it be here. You just see, my dear friends, this is cos c minus cos d minus 2 sin c plus d by 2 sin c minus d by 2. I have just multiplied the same theta and multiplied there by x power 6, my dear friends, right? Now as extends to 0, you can say, my dear friends, here, right, minus 2 into, right, this is going to be minus 2 into sin square x plus x square. We need definitely x square here, we need one x here. So in the next step, let me write, so we can cancel these two. In fact, this 2 is here, minus 1 by 2 into limit extends to 0 sin square x plus x square by x square, you write, into sin x plus x by x, you write, into sin x minus x by x cube, you write. Friends, this is going to be, if you separate as extends to 0, 1 plus 1, this is 2 and this is also 2. So friends, this is minus 1 by 2 into, this is going to be 2, this is going to be 2 into limit extends to 0. Why don't you go with expansion? Sin x expansion is x minus x cube by 3 factorial, plus x power 5 by 5 factorial, and so on, it is going to be by x cube. So friends, I can say this is minus 2 into minus 1 by 3 factorial 6, which is going to be 1 by 3 is going to be the answer. That's all, my dear friends. Okay, it's simple problem. Next, you see, f of x is given, this expression, g of x is inverse of f of x, then find the derivative. It's a standard important model. Why don't you consider g of f of x is equal to x, because f g are inverse of each other. So its derivative g dash of f of x into f dash x is going to be 1, my dear friends. I just want g dash derivative at 2 pi. So here I have to get 2 pi, you just search that x where f of x becomes 2 pi, my dear friends. I want that x where f of x is 2 pi. Array, you just check, if you put x is 3 pi by 2, you see this becomes 0, cos 3 pi by 2 becomes 0, 3 pi by 2 if you substitute, 3 gets cancelled, 2 pi you are going to get. Yes, so put x is equal to 3 by 2 in this expansion, g dash of f of 3 pi by 2 into f dash of 3 pi by 2 is equal to 1. Array, f of 3 pi by 2 is 2 pi, that's what I want. So what I need is, this is 1 by f dash of 3 pi by 2. Fine, you are having f of x, why don't you find f dash x? Its derivative is 25 into 2x minus 3 pi whole power 24 into 2 plus 4 by 3, cos x derivative is minus sin x In this you substitute 3 pi by 2, my dear friends. If you substitute 3 pi by 2, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 4 by 3, and sine of 3 pi by 2 is going to be, you can say, this is sine 270, right, minus 1. So, plus 1, which is 7 by 3, my dear friends, which becomes, yeah, you can say this is 4 by 3 minus cos x derivative is minus sin x, at 3 pi by 2 it becomes minus 1. So, this becomes plus 1, which is, we can say, which is 7 by 3, my dear friends, whose reciprocal is, you can say, 3 by 7, right. Then you can substitute, he wants this value which is going to be 3 by 7, that is all. Next, my dear friends, coming to, you see, integer answer type of questions. A target is to be destroyed in a bombing exercise. There is 75% chance that any one bomb will strike the target. That means for a single bomb strike, the probability of success is 75%, that is 3 by 4. Okay. That means failure probability is 1 by 4. Okay. Assume that 2 direct hits are required to destroy the target completely. That means suppose if I put 10 trials, at least two hits should be. In a single hit, the target will not be destroyed. So, it needs 2 successes minimum. Okay. The minimum number of bombs that must be dropped in order that the chance of destroying the target is greater than or equal to 99%. That means, my dear friends, so the minimum number of bombs, suppose the number of bombs required is n. Okay. Now, the chance of destroying the target, that means suppose n bombs are given, I need minimum 2 successes. That means probability of x greater than or equal to 2. This must be greater than or equal to 99%, my dear friend. This is the equation. This is 1 minus Px is equal to 0, Px is equal to 1 must be greater than or equal to 99 by 100, which is, my dear friends, we can say Px is equal to 0 plus Px is equal to 1 is going to be 1 by 100. This is greater than or equal to means this is less than or equal to 1 by 100. Px is equal to 0 means, friends, NC0 q to the power of n minus 0 into p to the power of 0 plus NC1 into q to the power of n minus 1 into p to the power of 1. This must be less than or equal to 1 by 100, right. Then, my dear friend, it is a simple equation. This is 1 by 4 power n, and this is n 3n by 4 power n is less than or equal to 1 by 100. You just keep giving the values, that is, you can say, friends, 3 power n plus 1 by 4 power n is less than or equal to 1 by 100. Okay. You just try, my dear friends, put n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, for n is equal to 6 first time, it will be less than or equal to 1 by 100. Until then, it will be greater than only. So, 6 is the possibility, least value. Then n is equal to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, for all the things it is fine. Minimum value for n is 6, right? That is all. Next, my dear friends, the minimum length of intercept of any tangent of this ellipse cut by the circle. My dear friends, you take the coordinate axis. This is the second type of ellipse where semi-minor axis is 2, semi-major axis is 3. This circle is also having the same center with radius 5. This is the circle. Now, I want minimum length of the intercept of any tangent of the ellipse cut this. So, undoubtedly by symmetry you can observe that this is the tangent with minimum intercept. In all the other cases you will get longer than this. My dear friends, when x coordinate, this is y coordinate is 3, my dear friends. When y coordinate is 3, x coordinate is 4. Here it is minus 3, y coordinate is 3, x coordinate is minus 4. So, the length is going to be 8 units, my dear friends. Minimum length is 8 units. Okay. Next, the mean and variance of 12 and 14 is same as mean and variance of other 4. Here for 12 and 14, mean you find, variance you find, and 12, 14 you just find, and alpha beta, this is another data. For this also mean and variance are the same, he is saying. What is the mean here? Here mean is 13, so here also mean is 13. Here variance means for 12 square plus 14 square by 2 minus average square, or else root mean square. Since you subtract, you can also do, so 12 minus difference is 1 square plus 1 square by 2 under root, my dear friends. Am I correct? Because standard deviation, of course variance means square root will not be, sigma, this is xi minus, you can say x bar whole square by n, under root is the standard deviation. After finding mean, you find the deviations from mean, deviation sum of the squares by n, that is 2 by 2, standard deviation here it is 1. Here should also be 1, my dear friends. Now for this data mean 13 means, here already 26, here alpha plus beta must be 26, my dear friends. And here mean 13 means difference is 1 square plus 1 square plus alpha minus 13 square plus beta minus 13 square by 4. This should also be 1, my dear friends. So from this you will get another equation like alpha square plus beta square kind of you will get, whereas here you can see, my dear friends, because alpha plus beta, minus 26 alpha minus 26 beta, you can substitute that. So you will get alpha plus beta, alpha square plus beta square. It's a standard question to find mod alpha minus beta, right? So simple algebra you can do, which is square root of alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta, because from these two you can find alpha and beta can do, and you are going to get the difference to be 2, my dear friends. That's all. Okay. Next, the value of x such that these 4 points are coplanar. Coplanar in the sense, friends, very important, 4 points coplanar in the sense you convert into 3 vectors, AB bar, AC bar, AD bar, 3 to 1, and 3 vectors coplanar means their det is equal to 0. So subtract 3 to 1 from all, this becomes BA bar, you write 4 minus 3 1, x minus 2, 5 minus 1 4. Similarly, AC bar 4 minus 3 1, 2 minus 2 0, minus 2 minus 1 minus 3. The next AD bar 6 minus 3 3, 5 minus 2 3, and minus 1 is minus 2. Okay, right? Then this det must be equal to 0. From this you will get x value, my dear friends. Simple. 4 points coplanar means convert them into 3 vectors. 3 vectors coplanar, that means their box is 0, that is det is equal to 0. Next, friends, the finite sets have m and n elements. The total number of subsets of the first set, say 2 power m, is 56 more than total number of subsets of second set 2 power n is equal to 56, my dear friends. The highest 2 power you can take common here is 8 into 7, this is 2 cube into 2 cube minus 1, which is 2 power 6 minus 2 cube. So m must be 6, n must be 3, so m plus n going to be 9, my dear friends. He said m plus n is 9, that's all. Next, you see this question, a functional relation, you know what to do. For this functional relation, replace x square by 1 plus x square, so that 2 times f of 1 by x square plus 3 times f of x square is equal to 1 by x square minus 1, right. So these are the two equations. Try to eliminate this, multiply the first equation with 2, second equation with 3, so that this becomes 4 f of x square plus 6 f of 1 by x square is equal to 2 x square minus 2. The second will become 6 f of 1 by x square, and this becomes 9 f of x square. You multiply with 3 means you will get 3 by x square minus 3. Now you just subtract, my dear friends. So this is going to be minus 5 into f of x square is 2x square minus 2 minus 3 by x square plus 3. right. I just want f of 1 by 2, my dear friends. Wherever x square is there, you replace f of 1 by 2 minus 5 into f of 1 by 2. This 2 into 1 by 2 will become 1 minus 2. This is 1 by 2 means minus 6 plus 3, which is going to be, my dear friends, 4 minus 8 is minus 4. So, f of 1 by 2 is 4 by 5, my dear friends. Of course, 5 times f of 1 by 2 will become 4. That is all. Next, you see, z is a complex number other than real numbers. So, it is going to be a non-real complex number, given that this particular complex number is purely real. Mod z I want. You see, this expression you can arrange it 1 minus z plus z square plus 2z by 1 minus z plus z square. If you just separate 1 plus 2z by 1 minus z plus z square. If this is purely real, this is also purely real. 1 is already real, so this must be real, my dear friends. If this is real, undoubtedly z by 1 minus z plus z square is real. Z cannot be 0 because z is a complex number other than 0. So, if this is real, my dear friends, 1 minus z square by z must be real. So, that is 1 by z plus z minus 1 must be real. That means 1 by z plus z must be real. If any complex number is real, like z, z is equal to z bar. So, 1 by z plus z is equal to 1 by z bar plus z bar. So, z minus z bar, my dear friends, is 1 by z bar minus 1 by z. So, we can write like, my dear friends, z minus z bar is z minus z bar by z bar. So, z is equal to z bar is not impossible, because if it is z is equal to z bar, z is real, but z is non-real number. So, from this, my dear friends, z bar must be 1, apply modulus, mod z square will become 1, because mod z bar is also 1. So, mod z must be 1, my dear friends. That is all. Next, the number of irrational solutions. You just take root of x square plus 1 as t, you will get root of x square plus t plus root of x square minus t is equal to 4, my dear friends. This is equation number 1. Okay. And of course, my dear friends, root of x square plus 11 is t, in the sense you can say x square plus 11 is equal to t square. So, x square you can write t square minus 11. So, you can write t square plus t minus 11 plus root of t square minus t plus 11 is equal to 4, right. Now, say this is equation 1. Now, you just rationalize, my dear friends, denominator becomes root of t square plus t minus 11 minus root of t square minus t, and of course, my dear friend, this is minus 11 itself, this is minus 11 itself, right. Yeah, minus 11 in the denominator. Numerator a square minus b square will become 2t, my dear friends. 2t is equal to, you can say, 4. From this, my dear friends, you can write root of t square plus t minus 11 minus root of t square minus t minus 11 is equal to 2t by 4, which is t by 2. This is equation 2, my dear friends. You see, like x plus y is 4, x minus y is t by 2. You just add these two, my dear friends. You will get 2 times root of t square plus t minus 11 is equal to, you will get t by 2 plus 4. Now, again you square, this is 4 times t square plus t minus 11 is equal to, you can say, this is t square by 4 plus 16 plus 4t. Now, you can simplify, my dear friends. You just multiply with 4, this is 16t square plus 16t minus 176 is equal to t square plus 64 plus 16t. You can cancel 16t, my dear friends. So, this is going to be 15t square is equal to 176, that is 180, that is 240. Yeah, from this my dear friends, yeah, you can find a t square value. T square minus 11 is x square. So, x is going to be plus or minus root 5 you will get, my dear friends. So, you will get two possible values for x, two irrational solutions you will get. Just solve this, my dear friends. So, t square is equal to 16, 16 minus 11 is 5. So, x is plus or minus root 5. You can substitute and verify also satisfy, because we have taken the square of the equation, extraneous roots may come, you can substitute and verify, you will get the two solutions. So, completely number of irrational solutions is going to be 2, my dear friends. Next, so in this question there may be printing error 3 here. So, number power logarithm means this is root of 9 power mod x minus 2, the first term. The second one is, so 4 into 3 power mod x minus 2 minus 9 whole power 1 by 5 it is whole power 7. This is the expression. Number power logarithm, if it is same, this is the one. Now, my dear friends, you can also take 3 power mod x minus 2 value as some t. So, that this is t square under root, this becomes t plus, this is 4 times you can say t minus 9 whole power 1 by 5. This is going to be, this is 4t minus 9, you see, you need to, yeah, I can say here, this is going to be, my dear friends, 4t minus 9 whole power 5. So, here also we need to change, friend, this is going to be, yeah, this is 4t minus 9 whole power 1 by 5 it is, which is 4t minus 9 whole power 1 by 5. This is 3 square power half means 3 power x by 2. In this particular expansion, 6th term he is asking binomial expansion, power 7 is there. So, 7c5 into t to the power of 2 into 4t minus 9 whole power 1 by 5 power 5. This is the expression. This is given as 567, my dear friends. This is 21 in fact. 21 you just cancel 27 times. So, you will get, this is 4t cube, my dear friends, minus 9t square is equal to 27. You just put t is equal to 3, one of the solutions, t is equal to 3, you are going to get the getting satisfied. So, 3 power mod x minus 2 is equal to 3. So, mod x minus 2 is equal to 1. X can be 1 or 3, my dear friends. So, what is the value of x? X cannot be 1, he said. So, x value must be 3, my dear friends. That is all. Next, you see the last question. You need to split it into cases. F of x is going to be, my dear friends, yeah, when x is minus 1 to less than 0, x is negative, so this is minus x, step x is going to be minus 1, whereas x is 0 to 1, mod x is x and step x is 0, so x itself, and x is 1 to 2, my dear friends. Fractional part of x is x minus step x, fractional part of x is nothing but x minus step x. This step x will become, you know, this is 1, so 2x minus 1 it is, and 2 to open 3, x is more than 2, so mod x minus 1 is x minus 1 itself, and fractional part of x is x minus step x which is 2, that is 2x minus 3, my dear friends. And especially when x is equal to 3, step x is different. So, you can put 3 minus 1, 2, 2 plus 0, 2 it is. This is the one. Now, you check the continuity, my dear friends. 0 left side, it is minus 1, 0 right side, 0. At 0 discontinuous. 1 left side, 1, 1 right side also 1. At 1 continuous, my dear friends, 1 continuous. 2 left side, it is 3. 2 right side 1, so 2 discontinuous. 3 left side, 6 minus 3 is 3, at 3 it is 2, so at 3 also discontinuous, yes. So we say left discontinuous. There are 3 points where it is discontinuous. And coming to differentiability, the points of discontinuity will also be points of non-differentiability. So at these 3 points, and at 1 you again check left side derivative is 1, right side derivative is 2. Coming to non-differentiable point, apart from these 3, 1 also includes. So he is asking, A denotes the number of points of discontinuity, A is 3, and B denotes the number of points of non-differentiability, it is 4. So he is asking A plus B, 3 plus 4 in the sense 7 is the answer. So my dear friends, in this way this paper is comfortably can be answered, not difficult, not so lengthy except a couple of questions. But do remember, we have discussed 30 questions, you need to answer only 25 questions, right? Fine, plan the way well and keep the tempo, you work well my dear friends. So in the full syllabus, this is the first test, right? So you might have done little, you see, maybe lengthy, plan yourself, and for the next exam, all the best.